Check.
Check, check, check.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. Alaska Airlines, as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Players, athletes,
Broadcasting live from Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts, the home for today's matchup between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Brewster Whitecaps. Welcome live on YouTube, Austin Nakuda alongside Drake Toll and Zach Berman, as we are excited to see what should be a good matchup on paper between the defending champions from last year and your first place Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Guys, the Hawks coming off a tough loss last night, 12-5 at home against the Falmouth Commodores. But Drake, they're back in action today. What do they have to do to put that one behind them?
Well, it's all about how you respond today against a Brewster team that sits in the middle of the pack. They're under 500 despite being the number 2 team in the East. And yesterday's game was demoralizing for everybody involved. So how does your squad rally in a game against a Brewster team that on paper you should win this one by at least a few? Go out and do it. Yeah. Go out, punch somebody else in the mouth after you got punched in the mouth yourself.
Yeah, Brewster is 3-7 in their last 10 games, while the Hawks are the complete opposite, 7-3 in their last 10, which has propelled them to first place. And tonight, Zach, they'll be opposed by Grant Kipp, the pitcher for the Brewster Whitecaps, and he's a talented one at that.
Grant Kipp, the last couple seasons at Yale, he's transferring to USC come fall. He's been used as a spot reliever in his first 2 games on Cape Cod. He's only thrown an inning in both of those starts. This is going to probably be the longest that Jamie Shevchik asks of him to go, and Brewster's going to need him to go a little bit. Both of these teams are coming off of blowouts to teams at the bottom of the pack in the Cape League last night. Brewster was smoked by Harwich 10-4 yesterday. So you have 2 teams coming in, both coming off of blowouts, both looking to wipe the slate clean. I think you're going to see a good matchup between 2 squads that want to get back in their groove.
Yeah, the Hawks coming off a solid starting pitching performance last night from Jay Driver, who went 5 innings and struck out 11 hitters. Bria Lawson caught up with him after last night's big win. Talking to Coach Beatty about that performance, we got to catch up today in today's Dugout Show. Welcome inside the Dugout Show from Brewster, Massachusetts. Austin Nakuda alongside Coach Eric Beatty. And Coach, today you guys get to face the defending champions in the Brewster Whitecaps. I know year to year there's so much turnover in the league. You've experienced that as a player and now as a coach. But that Nana, as some call him, but Drea Losick was able to catch up with George and talk with him before today's game.
From Stony Brook Field in Brewster with George Athanasiadis from Merrimack College. George, you are our beloved bullpen catcher throughout the whole year, also known as George Apple Banana. Where did that nickname come from?
You know, Drake's always very creative in what he says, and I kind of like the nickname. It kind of sticks. That's it.
Well, you got the opportunity to catch during the home run hitting contest during the All-Star game. What was that like?
It was long. It was really long, but it was kind of fun seeing all these balls just fly. I don't really see that too often back home, but it was kind of cool, really cool.
And there's a lot of pitching talent not only on this team, but in the Cape League in general. What's it like catching for those guys?
Again, it's like really cool. I can get better by just seeing it and catching it, and it's really fun being around those guys. They're a good group of guys out there, and they're helping me get better as well as me helping them get better.
And, you know, you said it, you guys have a lot of fun, especially in the bullpen during games. You can always hear after runs are scored, home runs, a lot of noise comes from the bullpen. What's the energy like out there?
It's great. I don't think it compares to any other team's energy that they have in the bullpens. I mean, just us bonding really well together helps a lot.
All right, thank you so much, George. I'm Brea Losick, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Linda Aprea. Thank you. Fabulous.
Well, it's just about that time where we play the baseball here in Brewster, and let's
Whoa,
meet the Harbor
they do
Hawk.
that. They're doing that at Brewster tonight.
Tonight, yeah,
Tonight.
more like
Whew.
this afternoon.
I don't think they're playing playing baseball in the dark here tonight.
Yeah, just to this afternoon, 4 p.m. first pitch, right about ready. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the Harbor Hawks, who will be coming to the plate in the DH position today, 7th today, and playing in left field. Nolan Shanuel batting 8th today and over at first, and Riku Nishida once again in the 9-hole in at second base, one of your Harbor Hawk All-Stars, and they'll be facing, as we mentioned in the open, Brant Kipp, the starting pitcher today for the Brewster Whitecaps. His defense behind him, Logan Bravo in left, Ryan Lasco in center, Grayson Tatro in right, followed by DeMartini, Penales, Keister, and Mendham. Atkinson does the catching for Kipp, and we're just about ready to go from Stony Brook Field.
It's an interesting new look lineup. I think it's safe to say that Nolan Shanuel might be the best number 8 hitter you'll see on Cape Cod, possibly ever. But I want to see what it looks like, you know, to have a guy like that low in the lineup, and then follow him up with Riku Nishida. You know, going Shanuel and Riku as your 8-9, those two guys could serve as most teams' 1 and 2 hitters. And here for the Hawks, they are batting 8th and 9th.
Yeah, and I think maybe Coach Beatty took a play out of the Falmouth Commodore playbook where they dropped Drew Brutcher last night, Drake, to 7, and that seemed to work for their lineup, add some depth in it, and break up the talent a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what the Harbor Hawks want to do with Drew Earhart, too, putting him in the 6th hole in his first game for the team. And there you've got a guy that needs a pick-me-up in Nolan Shanuel, who was hitting really well prior to his 10-day hiatus. You're trying to get him back into a groove, and maybe that groove starts with throwing him in the 8 hole, giving him something new to look at, a new spot to be. And you mentioned that Riku Nishida following him up, too. It gives you a lot of confidence to know, if I get on base, I've got a guy behind me with one of the best OBPs in the entire league.
And we'll see how the Hawks play today after last night's 12-5 loss. And Coach Beatty said he put that one behind us and move on to today, as Mitch Jebb is just about ready to get to the plate as Brewster's coaching staff makes some adjustments to the pitch comm system their catchers use in order to relay the signs right into their ear.
Yeah, don't see very many teams use that. I believe Brewster's the only team that we've seen use an earpiece between their coaching staff and their catcher, but if you've got it, you have the capabilities to use it, and it doesn't malfunction very often, then why not?
Hey, the technology has become so prevalent in Major League Baseball, and the Cape sends so many people to major leagues. Why not get them introduced bright and early?
So Mitch Jebb stands in the left-handed batter's box to start things off. He watches a called strike, the fastball at the knees from Kip, 0-1.
Hey, Kip's fastball is not going to overpower you from the right side. 88 to 92. Curveball that's 76 to 80, and a slider 78 to 82, but 56% fastball guy.
The 0-1 misses for a ball. Count evens up at 1 apiece, and Kip this year's pitched only 2 2/3 innings. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, but he struck out 5.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Out of the, 8 outs he's recorded, he's got 5 punch outs.
Yeah.
Kip, the right-hander, winds up, and here comes a 1-1 to Jebb. Breaking ball finds the zone. 1-2 to the Michigan State infielder.
And he's a slider guy, too. 30% of the time against righties, he's going to throw that slider. Lefties, though, it drops to 15%, and he opens up the curveball a little bit more. So maybe you'll see that against Jebb here, especially on a 2-strike count.
Jebb hitting .314. He's also had his RBI total creep up to number 16 of the year the other night, as that one's grounded to short. Penales fields it. His throw across the diamond is just in time for out number 1 as Jebb is retired 6-3 on the putout.
And that's something you're going to see a lot of from Grant Kipp, who's someone that, like you mentioned, doesn't overpower you. This past season at Yale, allowed a lot of contact, 84 hits, but his strikeout to walk numbers, 56 strikeouts to only 19 walks. So he's going to get the ball put in play a lot.
That brings up a man who called Stony Brook Field home for a very brief period of time earlier in the season. Mike Sirota, the former Brewster Whitecap, who only had a handful of games here in Brewster, hit .250 and an on-base percentage well over .400, but it wasn't enough to stick with this Whitecap team, who certainly 3-7 in their last 10. They're missing the talent of Mike Sirota.
Well, a big part of that is Sirota was not an everyday starter. He was splitting time with different guys, and Sirota is someone who deserves to be a starter every day in somebody's lineup. So the Harbor Hawks had a spot where he could do that, and since they brought him on, he's hitting around the 400 clip. So Brewster lets go of a guy who's hitting .250 for them, which is top 30 in the league, and now he goes to Hyannis, and he's yet to cool off.
.395 with the Hawks on the season for Sirota. The 1-1 pitch misses. Oh, called strike.
Yeah, that's going to be a strike today, I think. Just above the belt, 2 or 3 inches there at the numbers on the Hyannis away jerseys. Nice blues with some pinstripe, purple pinstripes on the pants.
Purple?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, you haven't seen them? You got to look a
Here
little more
comes
in
the
depth.
1-2 from Kip to Sirota, and he goes swinging, comes up empty. Down goes Mike Sirota on the strikeout for out number 2.
Yeah, Sirota's done more of that recently, but it's not totally a bad thing. I know that sounds odd, but Sirota and Riku Nishida both are striking out at a higher clip than you expect, but it's because they've changed their approach to the plate. They're not looking for a walk first. They're trying to put a ball in play. Both those guys have seen their batting average rise, but in turn, also their strikeout numbers.
That brings up Cole McConnell, the all-star center fielder, who's now hitting .280 on the year after a 3-hit performance last night against Falmouth, first pitch outside.
Yeah, McConnell comes to the dish this season. 9th in the league in batting average, and he's got 19 RBI, so he's 5th in the league in RBI. 9 stolen bases, too, and the most putouts of any center fielder on Cape Cod. That'll play.
The 1-0 to McConnell. Called strike, 1-1, and the .280 batting average, some might say, okay, that's average, but no, it's 9th in the entire league.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a pitcher's league, so you hit around .280, you're an all-star, and Cole McConnell, if that average rises near 300 with his putouts, his runs batted in total, he's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Breaking ball called strike, 1-2.
Do we have a, we're almost 40 games into the season. Do we have an official number for, average league batting average?
I'd say it's probably around 230, 220.
If
You'd
that.
assume so.
If that.
Here comes the 1-2 from Kip. Breaking ball, chopped down the first base line. Will it stay fair? It will not.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, for perspective there, Zach, right now Hyannis is 2nd in the league in team average, and they're hitting at 240. So I would assume the league average itself is somewhere around the 205, 210 mark.
Yeah, it's a pitcher's league for sure, and it only gets tougher on the batting stats league-wide because more guys are in and out at this point in the year, and the new bats take a little bit to heat up, and unfortunately, there's that adjustment period that they're going to go through. We've seen it with almost all the new additions to the Harbor Hawks and opposing teams. Here's the 1-2 to McConnell. Skies it high and deep to left field. Trotting back is Logan Bravo. Puts the glove up, makes the catch. Hawks go down 1-2-3 against Grant Kipp. Brewster comes up to bat when we return for the bottom of the first inning on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it?
Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it. And that's when you said, so it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hogs Baseball Network. Austin Akuta and Zach Berman live from Brewster. Drake Toll also joining us in the booth here. And let's take a look at the Brewster Whitecaps starting nine. Starting off with the shortstop, Xavier Patelli over making his second appearance of the year. A couple new Brewster bats in the lineup. Carson DiMartini, the all-star, batting second. Nick Lazarusso batting third, the DH. This is only his second game on the Cape. Grayson Tatro, the right fielder, batting cleanup. David Mendham over at first and batting fifth. Batting sixth, Kevin Keister, the second baseman. Chase Atkinson, the catcher, in the seventh spot. Logan Bravo, the left fielder, batting eighth, followed by Ryan Lasko, the center fielder, who is batting ninth today for the defending champion Brewster Whitecaps, and they'll be opposed by Tommy O'Rourke, the Harbor Hawks right-handed starter, who is making his fifth appearance on the year, but his first start, 6 1/3 innings for O'Rourke, 11 hits on the year, 6 runs, 7 strikeouts. Strikeout numbers have been good, but he's been hit around the ballpark a little bit.
Well, you look at O'Rourke's numbers, and the 8.53 ERA sticks out, but don't be deceived. He had that nightmare against Bourne where he only went 1/3 of an inning, allowed 5 earned runs. His ERA was infinite after that game. Since then, he's only allowed 1 earned run in his last 3 appearances.
I don't know about infinite. He did get the one out, right?
Well, right next to his ERA, it's a bunch of number signs or hashtags. So,
well,
yeah.
he did get the one.
He did get the one.
Did get one out, so give credit.
Yeah.
We'll give the guy credit for that much. Was also the starter in the Pac-12 championship game for the Stanford Cardinal.
Here comes the 1-0 to Xavier Patelli. He pops it up left side of the infield. Mitch Jebb makes the catch over at third for out number 1. Taking a look at the Harbor Hawk defense today. Pancho Ruiz behind the dish doing the catching. Mitch Jebb at third. Don Patelli back in the lineup after an off day yesterday. He's over at short. Riku Nishida, the second baseman. Nolan Shanuel over at first. The outfield left to right. Tito Flores, Cole McConnell, and Mike Sirota. Certainly a ton of range in that outfield, which has been the key to success for Harbor Hawks pitching this year, is trusting the defense behind them as Carson DiMartini stands in, watches a pitch high and outside for a ball.
Yeah, with Jebb, Patelli, Nishida, and Shanuel on the infield, that's what it looked like about Game 7 of this season, too. So to see that core still together at this point in the year, that's awesome.
Yeah, this team's been built to last. The 1-0 misses low. Now the count 2-0 to DiMartini. A lot of teams, and you're seeing it with Brewster, they're 1 and they're 3-hitter today.
Yeah.
This is their second game in the Cape Cod League this summer. So a lot of teams with new bats. The Harbor Hawks, not so much. 2-0 is a called strike, and O'Rourke is on the board.
Funny, that pitch looked very similar to the pitch before that.
Yeah, it's odd how that works.
Huh, interesting. We'll see how that plays out the rest of today.
O'Rourke from the windup, the 2-1 is a curveball called strike. 2-2, he drops it in.
You're seeing you're going to call the high strike today.
Yeah.
That ball's 2 or 3 inches up above the belt, and it's a breaking ball, too, breaking down into the catcher's mitt. But is it truly in the zone? Maybe not. Let's open it up.
The 2-2 is another breaking ball and a called strike 3. O'Rourke freezes DiMartini for out number 2. It's not where it lands in the mitt. It's where it comes across the plate, and evidently that's a strike today.
Well, there's your Stanford intelligence there from Tommy O'Rourke, recognizing that Joe LaBelle is calling the high pitch and immediately goes right back to it for strike 3.
A designated hitter from Maryland.
Sorry, there's somebody screaming behind us, so I was struggling to hear. Oh, it sounds like it's LaRusso at the plate.
That's him. Nick LaRusso made his debut on July 25th, and now he goes after a fastball, but hesitantly swings through it 0-1.
Tommy O'Rourke, he had a great showing in that Pac-12 championship game, too. I mentioned how he was the starter on the bump against Oregon State. Went 3 innings, as there's a big cut and a miss, and 1 earned run work and 4 strikeouts, too, for the Cardinal.
It's looking more like that performance tonight. Some of his relief appearances for the Harbor Hawks. Here's the windup, the 0-2 to LaRusso, breaking ball, chopped foul down the third base line.
Now, this is a guy in LaRusso who just came out. This is the second game, but this past season at Maryland, he was ridiculous. 15 homers and 69 RBIs for the Terps. He was their everything. And certainly that Maryland team went a long ways into regionals.
He was 2 for 3 in his debut yesterday. Not many guys come to the Cape and have a couple of hits. Here's the 0-2, swung on and missed. Tommy O'Rourke starts the inning, 1-2-3, and a pair of punch-outs to go with it. Hawks coming up to bat for the second with some momentum on their side on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, soon at Gannon's Tavern.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
4-5-6 due up for the Harbor Hawks this inning. Poncho Ruiz, Christian Moore, Dom Patelli, the trio, awaiting to face Grant Kipp and Austin Akuta, Zach Berman, Drake told the trio back in the booth with you. So the score is 0 apiece after a pair of perfect frames for these starting pitchers. Kipp set the Hawks down 1-2-3. O'Rourke somehow topped that. 1-2-3, the Whitecaps go down in order, a pair of punch-outs to go with it.
Well, here's a spot in the lineup with Poncho Ruiz and Christian Moore coming up. Ruiz hitting 183, Christian Moore at 177, while Nolan Shonwell at 216 is batting the 8th hole. That's to try to get him back into a groove. For Ruiz and Christian Moore, you move these two guys with low batting averages in the 4 and the 5 spot for a vote of confidence to say, we trust you in these spots, come out and produce. That's where the Harbor Hawks really need to shine today.
Well, the sun is now shining bright after the overcast kind of...
It's a little warm, huh?
Yeah, it's getting warm quick.
I get you.
Hope you get your sunscreen on.
I have some in my bag, but I did not put it on.
Well, that does no good.
Yep, no. Sit in your bag.
Poncho ahead 1-0. Here comes the pitch. He fouls it off. Count will leave it up.
Well, you look at Poncho's average, 183. I would say that number also a little bit deceiving. Poncho has been quite good at putting the ball in place. Strikeouts were a problem for him, and in 22 games, he's only struck out 13 times.
He's gotten much better as the season's progressed, not only at the plate but defensively. He's been a brick wall back there. Here comes the 1-1 misses outside. And the count moves to 2-1.
Okay, so that one is not a strike today. Can we confirm?
Yeah, okay. I think the one in the
inside outside is going to play true, but anything high, maybe you can get a call on it.
Kipp from the windup. Here comes the 2-1. Fouls it off. Does Poncho down the third base line into the Whitecap dugout.
Look, why not? That pitch that's, again, at the number, low number for Hyannis, 3 or 4 inches above the belt. Before I got cut my freshman year, they actually let me stop hitting in 7th grade because I was so bad. But that was my pitch, man. Right above the belt, you take that one yard. I like that being called a strike today.
Here comes the 2-2 to Poncho. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Ruiz goes down looking at a breaking ball.
And that one is not on Grant Kipp. That's squarely on Zach Berman for just talking to us about his strikeout numbers this season. The broadcast jinx is alive and well today in Brewster.
That brings up Christian Moore, the DH from Tennessee, and Zach Berman. Do not mention his strikeout numbers this year.
Well, I won't mention it.
We'll mention the fact that he
mention a thing.
Has 11 hits, 6 runs batted in, but he certainly has been better as of late. A couple of big hits in the last week for Christian Moore. Here comes the windup, breaking ball to Moore, called strike.
Oh, so maybe the outside zone is a strike today.
Well, I was trying to make a point that the left-handed batter's box was not going to be a strike, so at least that much is true.
Not a ton of wind. Flag dancing around a bit in right center field as the 0-1 from Kip is grounded to short. There is Penales. Tries to barehand it, but boots it. And Moore's going to reach base safely. We'll see if they score this a hit or an error on the shortstop.
I'm actually going to lean a hit because that ball just seemingly took a weird bounce in the dirt and just died on Penales. And he didn't have much of a play on it. He was expecting it to go one way. It goes the other, and it's ruled a hit.
So a hit for Christian Moore puts the first Harbor Hawk on base, and that brings up Dom Patelli, the shortstop from Miami. Didn't see him in the lineup yesterday, a little bit of an extended break, but he was an All-Star, so he participated in the All-Star game at Wareham. First pitch to Patelli, swings through it, 0-1.
Yeah, Dom's somebody who had one of the hotter streaks we've seen. There have been 2 or 3 guys that just picked up about 10 days this season where they were unstoppable. Mike Sirota still in the middle of that right now. Dom Patelli saw his own a week before the All-Star break and is trying to get back into that group. He climbed as high as 15th in batting average in the league.
Now at 252, the pitch to Patelli is a breaking ball. He swings over the top, 0-2.
And 252 is deceiving in itself because even sitting there, he's still number 24 on Cape Cod in batting average across the league. We saw him hit 2 home runs in the same game against Orleans as well. Trying to get him back to that groove.
Pickoff move to first. Moore's back in safely, but the throw gets away. Christian Moore will move up to second base on a botched pickoff move.
How many times have we seen that happen to this Harbor Hawks team this year? And I'm not sure exactly. Kip didn't throw that particularly hard. He just kind of lofted it over his first baseman.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a crafty or savvy pickoff move by any means whatsoever. One of those that should be pretty easily made, but the Yale pitcher skied that one over to the Harbor Hawk dugout.
Now with just 1 down here, the Hawks have a man in scoring position. Patelli is behind Kip, 0-2. From the stretch now, the right-hander comes set, takes a glance over it. Moore leading off second, brings home the 0-2, misses outside.
And that's a big mistake there by Kip because Kip is a ground ball pitcher. He's going to get a lot of double plays, especially with the way he pitches in the wood bats, and now you can't ground into a double play.
Patelli in the left-handed batter's box, sporting the bright orange Miami cleats to match the orange and blue Harbor Hawk gloves. Awaits Kip as he comes set now, takes another look at Moore, brings home the 1-2, breaking ball, cut on a miss. Down goes Patelli on the 3rd punch out of the day by Grant Kip.
As Tito Flores comes to the plate here in succession of Dom
Now
Patelli.
batting, the left fielder from Michigan, number 34.
Hey, Drake, what happened the last time
Tito Flores stepped to the plate against Brewster? It was the 9th inning, the top of the 9th inning, where the Harbor Hawks were down by 1. Flores had 2 strikes on him, had a base runner on, and decided to hit a home run right over there in left field. Put the Harbor Hawks up by 1 in the top of the 9th in an unbelievable game.
Well, remember,
that Hyannis lost in the end, but still great theatrics in the top of the 9th nonetheless.
Kip comes set, brings home the first pitch to Flores. It's a breaking ball. This time misses a bit high.
Well, remember, as I can recall, Tito should have never even gotten that opportunity because Mitch Jebb was caught in a pickle, and the first baseman for Brewster, I believe, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. He's not Mendham. Dropped the ball and allowed Mitch Jebb to advance to second base, kept the game alive.
I think Jebb kicked it. We can say that now.
Here's the 1-0 home to Flores. He started to go around. They'll check over at first. They say no, Tito did not go.
Yeah, that's Tito got away with one right there. Look at you pretty squarely went around the plate, but thank you very much. Merry Christmas in July again.
Yeah, seen a lot of those this week, huh?
Worth noting, too, when they pointed down, I realized there's a new first base coach, again for the Harbor Hawks today. It looks like Drew Earhart, who premiered in his first game for Hyannis yesterday, is the first base coach today. The guy just got here, and he's already calling signals down at first.
Here comes the 2-0. Tito chops it foul.
And by calling signals, I mean standing there, wearing the equipment of the guys that get on base.
Hands in the pockets.
Waving at guys, maybe chatting it up with the first baseman, spitting some seeds over there.
So that makes 3 Harbor Hawks that have been first base coaches.
4.
You had 1 last night, Jake Berry.
Jake
McCullough, Berry,
Matulia, and now
Drew Earhart. Welcome to Cape Cod. You're the first base coach now.
2-1 now the count to Tito Flores, the outfielder from Michigan, who also made the All-Star team this year. Swings over the top of that breaking ball and counts even.
Zach, I was talking to Beatty before the game today, and he let me know he wants you to coach first base tomorrow.
I mean,
would you
truth
do
be
it?
told, I would do it if I wasn't on play-by-play.
Oh, okay. So tell him no?
Tell him put it on the back burner. I will coach first base if need be.
Here comes a 2-2 to Tito outside, and the count moves to full as Christian Moore returns to second base. Hawks with the man in scoring position, 2 down here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, if Kip dishes out a walk here to Flores, or Flores is able to get on in some capacity, Nolan Shonowell follows it up. 8-hole hitter with a whole lot of power.
Yeah, it's a dangerous spot to be in. We'll see if Tito can extend the inning. The 3-2 away. Tito sent it to right field, pretty well struck. Ranging over and after it and making the catch is Grayson Tatro to end the inning. Hawks strand a man in scoring position. We're still scoreless through 1.5 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome back as the Tommy O'Rourke Show continues at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. O'Rourke set the Whitecaps down in order, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. Yeah?
Please.
Yeah?
So Tatro, Mendham, and yeah, that's still O'Rourke on the mound, and Keister.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? They left the guy in who went 1-2-3 in the first inning.
Yeah, and
you
you
keep him on the mound.
See the announcement every time the guy comes back to the mound.
No, yeah. Hey, wait a second. I think a Brewster guy's about to bat.
Oh, Grayson Tatro will step up to the dish. He's hitting .245 on the year, but he does have 17 RBI, one of their biggest run producers in the Brewster jerseys.
The white pinstripes today, too.
Yeah.
Brewster's got good-looking uniforms. I'd say some of the
good
better.
look. I like it.
Better
First pitch
threads on Cape.
misses outside 1-0. I don't remember the last time they've come to McKeon Park.
Brewster?
Been a while.
They came to McKeon Park on Friday.
No, not Brewster.
Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball, just misses. 2-0. O'Rourke is behind.
I mean, that wouldn't make a lot of sense because I've never seen Pinales play. I've never seen LaRusso play. I mean, it has to be at least a while since we saw those guys.
There's a lot of turnover right now on Cape. You know, guys are hitting their innings limits, you know.
Misses low, 3-0.
We've seen it with the Harbor Hawks. Guys are getting called back to school.
Pitchers, yes. I'm not sure if batters are. Do they have inning limits on batters,
Not
Austin?
necessarily.
Is that a thing?
I wouldn't say so, but, you know, guys get hurt. Guys just, you know, some guys just want to go home.
Innings limit on hitters.
I never heard of that one.
I've not heard of that one.
First strike there to Tatro. 3-1 now.
Very nice.
Well, it's really been Tatro and DeMartini that have been the two stalwarts for
The
Brewster
two what?
this, you know, consistent forces in their lineup.
Called strike again.
Well, it was Alex Freeland until he was drafted.
He did get that. They did do that.
And it could have been Mike Sirota, but that's a lost opportunity.
He plays for the Harbor Hawks now.
Here comes the 3-2 to Tatro. Breaking ball misses above the zone, and issues the walk to lead off the inning.
For O'Rourke, the walks are something this season.
Batting, the first baseman.
This guy.
My dad just called.
Number 7.
He's in Valonia, Arkansas. He wants to know why there's some guy on the East Coast screaming. He can hear him.
That brings up David Mendham, the 5-hole hitter, with a man on first after the leadoff walk issued by O'Rourke. We'll see how he deals now with runners on base. That's been one of the struggles for O'Rourke this season, is working out at tough situations. Here comes the first pitch, called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, I think I was talking about his walk numbers before my left eardrum gave out. 6 1/3 this season. O'Rourke has dished out 4 free passes. So, not great, not awful. something that now with his 5th standing over at first base, he's got to work himself out of.
Fastball misses high. Ruiz fakes a throw to first, but we'll just hold on to it. Count will even up at 1-1. It's become a warm day here at Stony Brook Field very quickly. The sun has peaked out and plenty of daylight for now, but no lights here at the Brewster Whitecaps home field. So this game's got to get over by 7:30 maybe, if not sooner. Here comes a 1-1. Fastball just misses a bit outside from O'Rourke, 2-1.
This is the first of 2 straight games that we're playing at 4, or is tomorrow 4:30? Yeah, tomorrow's 4:30 in Kentuit, no lights there, and then there's another
4
one.
would be too comfortable.
Yeah.
And then another one at Whitey, Saturday, 4:30, or Sunday, excuse me, Saturday we're home.
O'Rourke comes set, runner off at first, and here comes a 2-1. Loud contact to deep left center field. McConnell ranging after it, as is Flores, and it's McConnell making the catch. The range of Cole McConnell is second to none as that throw-in gets away, and now Tatro's going to advance to second on a throw-in from McConnell that somehow got by Nishida and nobody was backing it up.
That was the issue. Nishida, he missed the ball, but that happens to players every single game. That's why you have somebody there to back you up, but no one was standing behind Riku Nishida.
Not betting, the second baseman.
You know what? We don't even have to say the players' names.
Yeah.
Luckily, they're paying this guy to do it for us.
Kevin Keister now will stand in with a runner on scoring position after the error. See what they charged that to. Maybe Nishida as it got by him, but it wasn't the cleanest of throws in from the outfield. Here comes the pitch called strike at the knees to Kevin Keister, the second baseman. Another relatively new Brewster Whitecap is Keister on the season. Just has 18 at-bats, but he is hitting .333.
Yeah, that'll play.
6 for his first 18. Here comes the 0-1. High chopper to third. Jeb plays it, looks the runner back. Throw it across the diamond is in time for out number 2 as Tatro remains at second base.
Now, that's a good play from Jeb there. That seems really routine, but that helps a guy out, gives him a vote of confidence, who's had an uptick in errors recently. He's had 4 of those over the course of the last 8 games or so. So for Jeb to see that throw come to fruition successfully, again, that gives you just a bit of a boost of confidence when he's had a couple throwing errors recently.
That brings up the catcher, Chase Atkinson. Another Whitecap without a ton of at-bats under his belt, just 35 ABs this year, hitting .229. He's behind the count 0-1 to Tommy O'Rourke, who has continued to pitch well and held that runner over at second base after the leadoff walk.
This would be tremendous growth for O'Rourke. Like you mentioned, his one big hang-up of sorts this season has been getting around runners on base.
Here comes the 0-1. Misses. Nice block there by Pancho Ruiz to prevent the runner from advancing. And that is where Pancho has made a major step forward in his game.
Speaking of growth.
No kidding.
That's a block I don't think he makes a couple weeks ago.
He was the everyday catcher at San Diego State. Was a starter in all but one of their games this spring. But it's been taking his game to the next level, the challenge for Ruiz, and he's done that. He's elevated his defense here with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and start to see that bat come around a bit as well. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Tommy O'Rourke to Atkinson. Fastball, foul tip hung onto by Ruiz, and Atkinson is behind 1-2.
Well, O'Rourke's first appearance, a third inning. Second, 1 1/3. Third is 2 innings, and his fourth appearance against YD was 2 2/3. So if he can get through 2 innings unscathed here, it's a solid start for the Stanford product that needs to go 4 innings to really give the Harbor Hawks an ideal scenario.
Well, I talked to Nick Johnson before the game, and I asked him, where do you see O'Rourke sitting? And he's like, well, what we're looking for, 50 to 60 pitches, 4 innings. And
yeah, 4 innings could be a big ask, too, for a guy that went 3 in the Pac-12 championship games. Kind of that's what he's used to, and has not yet pitched 3 this season. But if he can give you that much, whew, you're in good shape.
A 1-2 as O'Rourke comes set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, it's hit back to center field. McConnell's running in, and he'll come to a light jog to make the catch and end the inning. The Whitecaps strand a runner in scoring position as we're through 2 complete scoreless innings as O'Rourke looks good on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. when you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Back in Brewster for the top of the third inning, Nolan Shonowell ready to lead off the Hawks 8-9-1 as Riku Nishida to follow Mitch Jebb in the hole. Still scoreless, Hawks have the only hit through 2 innings as both pitchers have come out and pitched well.
Holy cow. If there's a spot that I want to be in the lineup, it's Nolan Shonowell in the 8 hole, Riku Nishida following him up, then Mitch Jebb, Mike Sirota, and Cole McConnell. Those 5 guys have been mainstays for the Harbor Hawks, including Mike Sirota, who, granted, came in just recently but has been remarkable for this squad. So this is the time here. You've already seen Kip once if you're Jebb and Sirota McConnell. But for Nolan Shonowell, Riku Nishida, if 1 or 2 of those guys can get on, I really like the scenario here in the top of the third.
And Shonowell certainly hits right-handed pitchers well, and we'll see if he can do any damage here. At FAU, he had a sensational season. We mentioned the batting numbers time and time again. Hit over 360. Hit nearly as many home runs as he stole bases this year. 16 long balls, 11 stolen bases, and really a complete player because you're going to get some good defense from Shonowell as well.
Wouldn't you know? You don't have to yell his name either. Huh. I think I like this change of pace.
First pitch of the inning from Kip to Shonowell, lined back up the middle for a loud base hit. Nolan Shonowell wastes no time getting aboard.
Hey, what'd you say? He hits right-handed pitching well? Roger that.
Yeah, you saw it right there. I mean, there are base hits that are absolutely destroyed, and that was a line drive right back where it came from. And now the baton gets passed to another 2022 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star, Riku Nishida.
Yeah. Don't be fooled, though. Not on the infield. He was placed in center field in the All-Star game when he came in. He told Coach Eric Beatty before the game, he said, Coach, I'm tired, so if I don't play in the field today, if I get an at-bat in, I'm okay. Or maybe I could play outfield. So Beatty and the crew stuck him in center field for that game.
And how did he perform?
He made a catch.
He caught a ball. He bobbled it. He made everybody whoop, deep breath, probably on purpose.
Well, Riku shows bunt, fouls it back off the netting, 0-1.
Yeah, you've got the infield ready for the bunt. And that's what Nishida, he's been an infield single specialist this year. He's not going to give you a long ball, but you've got DiMartini over at third. He's playing about 3 or 4 steps into the grass. Pinales at short is still deep, and as is Keister in case Nolan Shonowell, who has sneaky speed, steals.
Here's the 0-1 on the bunt, and this time Nishida gets it down, and it's a good one. Played by the third baseman, DiMartini. His throw to first is in time. So Riku, effectively with a sac bunt, moves up Shonowell into scoring position now for the top of the order.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. With Mitch Jebb coming up and Mike Sirota behind him, for Nishida, you could see as soon as he made contact with that ball, he wasn't beelining it down the line as you usually expect because he hit it right to Carson DiMartini that was playing only 25 feet away from the plate. He was in so far, there was no chance that Nishida would be safe at first, so he just did his job, goes back to the dugout, and gives way to Mitch Jebb.
So back to the top of the order. Jebb made contact his first time, but it was a ground out to short. First pitch to Mitch. Does the same thing. This time, Pinales fields it clean. He's going to go to third to try to cut down Shonowell, and they do.
That's a great play by Pinales.
A risky one as the ball was hit to short. Shonowell led off second and tried to take the 90 feet and move up to third, but Pinales gets him a 6-5 on the putout. You don't see a lot of shortstops throw there. It's a risky play, but he does go and get the lead runner.
No, that was genius to me from Pinales, who's new on Cape Cod. He realized that Shonowell's not expecting that in the slightest. Granted, he's still booking it from second to third, but not at the same rate that Mitch Jebb was getting down to first base. That was a spectacular throw by Pinales. Again, risky, but it pays off there. Now, Mitch Jebb at first with 2 down, though. You got to expect the league second place in steals is going to go.
Hawks will look to recover that runner they just lost from scoring position. First pitch to Mike Sirota is a breaking ball that misses down and out. So now 2 down in the inning. Jebb over on first as Kip has gotten some help from his defense to thwart a Harbor Hawk rally. Never really got off the ground at this rally, but they're still, Hawks have been good with 2 outs this year.
Right.
Kip comes set, brings home the 1-0. Sorota's over the top of the off-speed pitch. Count evens up at 1-1.
Yeah, you want to talk about a way to endear yourself to your new coaching staff? Make a play like that, but that is a huge risk. If that doesn't pan out, then you have runners in the corners and one out for one of the best hitters right now on Cape Cod.
Here comes the 1-1 to Sirota. Sirota, fly ball, right field. Tatro's moving in. He camps out under it, makes the catch to end the inning. The Hawks strand a man on first to end the inning, and the Whitecaps are looking good through 3. It's 0-0 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
That's kind of a toss-up.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here from the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network as Austin Akuta, Drake Toll, and Zach Berman back in the broadcast booth as Tommy O'Rourke returns to the mound, and Zach, through 2 innings, he's been sensational.
Yeah, he's looked really good other than the walk, but almost you have to commend him more for how he looked with a runner on base, not getting very hard contacts, and you just want to see him continue as he's facing the first 2 guys that still haven't seen him yet in this lineup.
Logan Bravo followed by Ryan Lasco, the duo, due up to face Tommy O'Rourke as he's not accustomed to pitching multiple innings like this in a game, and he only threw 32 2/3 at Stanford in 2022.
Yeah, over the course of those innings, gave up 16 earned runs, so a 4.41 ERA. Had 16 walks in the 32 innings, but 35 strikeouts too. So pretty good little strikeout specialist is O'Rourke.
First pitch swinging, pops it foul out of play, 0-1. Logan Bravo, the left fielder today, digs in. He's now got settled in on the Cape with 80 ABs.
Yeah, that's enough.
Struggling to pick up the average, though. It sits at now 212 on the season. 1-1 now the count. Will even up to the Harvard outfielder.
So if you're O'Rourke, now you're sitting at, what, 29 pitches? 29 pitches, 18 strikes, 11 balls. You get through this inning quick, you can maybe go back out for the 4th?
Well, at 29 pitches, and you told us earlier that he'd go 60. So I would assume he's got a good little bit left in the tank.
I would assume so.
1-2 the count as he winds up, brings home the fastball, and Bravo swings through it for the first out.
That's a good start.
O'Rourke picks up his 3rd punchy of the night.
So you got Bravo set down here in the lineup, and
center fielder
who's batting next?
Rutgers.
Well, the man that
Ryan Lasco.
I didn't take long. I think it's Ryan Lasco, you guys.
I mean, the Harbor Hawks still owe Ryan Lasco, you know, maybe a box of cookies or something for gifting him.
Cookies from where?
I don't know. Gifting him 3
Called
runs
strike.
last Friday.
0-1 to Lasco. It's
on the Mitch Jeb triple?
No, it was the Sirota base hit
on
that
the
went
Sirota
right
triple. I'm sorry.
0-1 called strike again. Back-to-back breaking balls from the Stanford right-hander, and Lasco behind quickly.
Let's see. I want to see him go
Waste
high
no
fastball.
time. Here comes the 0-2, and that one is popped foul out of play back off the rest rooms.
Yeah, no, they're not restrooms here. They are rest space rooms. So if you go in there trying to use the bathroom, you can and will be arrested for indecency. They're just a bunch of pillows and blankets.
Only for rest.
Very interesting.
The 0-2 once more to Lasco. Breaking ball inside. Maybe the slider that time that missed. 1-2.
I like that O'Rourke's attacking the zone here, even on an 0-2 count. Get in, get out. I'm not going to waste a fastball eye level, show you what I got. I'm just trying to get out of this.
He gets
Set
the
you
ball
down.
right back into the set. Here comes the windup once more. The 1-2. That one's a high chopper. Patelli plays it on a hop. Now runs in. The throw is in time. A nice stretch by Shanuel over at first, and a strong throw by Patelli, who is known for that wizardry that he puts on at the 6th spot.
Yeah, tight play right there. A really strong throw from Patelli is what made it.
Well, if you were curious where Xavier Pinales goes to school at Gonzaga, you may have caught it in our crowd mic.
You know, this guy's got 22 home games, and he's still got a voice.
Yeah.
For that, I commend him. How much honey has he drank, you think?
Too much.
God, I hope they have a honey sponsor.
First pitch to Pinales popped up. Shallow infield. Jeb moves back to right next to the third base bag. Makes the catch as down go the Whitecaps in order and relatively quickly as Tommy O'Rourke has found his groove. Just one base runner allowed through 3 innings of work. We are still scoreless on the HarborHawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
McConnell, Ruiz, Moore, 3, 4, 5. The heart of the HarborHawk lineup due up to start things off in the top of the 4th and hopefully open the scoring. Austin Nakuda, Drake Toll, Zach Berman in the broadcast booth having a bit of trouble concentrating today due to the loud speaker that's to our left.
It is right.
Is it the speaker or the speaker that's speaking into the speaker?
Well, the last time we were here, we were about a bench over. And now we're a little bit closer right behind the plate, but we have this giant speaker.
Blaring to us.
And it's angled right. It is angled in the exact manner that is.
Folks at home can actually see exactly where we are today, too. Thank you to Abby Stokes, Ella Gibson, and Mike Maynard, our producers today, who have set us up with our new booth cam. You know, first team in the league to have a Manning cam on our broadcast. So great thanks to our producers for getting us set up. And innovative in broadcast this season, and so to Ella, Abby, and Mike, you guys are invaluable to what we do, and wow, we wouldn't look like this without you.
Nah, this looks great.
Best in the business.
Yeah. It's not because of us, sadly. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Cole McConnell now stands in as it's safe to give you some sound of the ballpark once more. First pitch to McConnell outside, 1-0.
That's funny. He's not near as excited about the HarborHawk batters to come to the plate.
It's too bad.
You'd wonder why.
Hawks in first place. Still, even after last night's loss, come into tonight 20-11-6.
Yeah.
Good for 46 total points. It's McConnell now evens up at the count as that pitch is outside but called a strike.
Yeah.
7-3 in their last 10. It's been consistent all year long. There was a stretch where the Hawks were maybe at 3-5.
3-5 to start the season. 3-5-1.
Since then, well, nothing but points. Here comes the 1-1 to McConnell. Breaking ball finds the zone. 1-2 as the LA Tech center fielders down in the count.
You know, it felt like the last time we were here, even though the HarborHawks lost that game, that 9th inning rally, that Tito home run, you felt something snap. And since then, it's been a different team.
McConnell fouls it off himself, so he won't be able to go anywhere, as it will hold at 1-2.
I wouldn't say that was the turning point necessarily.
Last night, maybe.
Yeah, I would say last night may be a big turning point for these guys. I think the 5-4 loss against Brewster, I don't know if I'd pinpoint that as being the game.
Because there was another walk-off a few days later in Harwich.
Right. A huge one after a demoralizing loss in game 1 of doubleheader.
Here comes the 1-2 from Kip. The fastball's outside, count evens up to Cole McConnell. McConnell, an all-star this year, as we mentioned. He started in right field, although he had the best fielding percentage out of the starting outfielders in the East, or the West, that is. Most putouts and least errors, but he was in right field rather than center. Here's the windup in the 2-2 to McConnell. Fastball popped up, shallow left field. Going to be a tough play. A trio of Whitecaps converge on it. It's Pinales sliding and making the catch. Xavier Pinales has put on a defensive show over at shortstop today for the Whitecaps.
Yeah, that's a great play. No, this guy is immediately asserted himself into this fielding
Now batting,
rotation
the catcher
for Brewster
from San
because of
Diego
how well
State,
he plays
number
in the field.
17,
That's already the second play.
Poncho
We're, what, 3
Ruiz.
1/3 innings in?
Poncho Ruiz, the catcher today, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking, stands back in to face Kip for the second time. The right-hander has pitched well so far, as he's only allowed a couple of base runners on singles. That one's popped foul by Ruiz. He's behind the count.
You know, it's funny because I'm looking at the schedule right now. That Harwich doubleheader, the walk-off, that was the day before the walk-off in Brewster.
You mean the one that Hyannis got walked
Yes.
off?
After that, they won 2 straight, tied, and then won another 3 straight.
Here's the 0-1 to Ruiz. Or Poncho, skies at foul. He's behind 0-2.
So it's a Hyannis team that started 3-5-1, and then their next 27 games, Austin,
Yep.
they lost 5.
That's it?
They lost 5. Last season, they went how many days without a win at one point?
All right. Too many.
Was it like 19?
18.
Oh, sorry. Don't mean to don't mean to cut you short there.
Don't bring me back to that.
Yeah, well, times are changing.
Ruiz stands in, down 0-2. Here comes the pitch from Kip. Breaking ball just missed a bit outside, 1-2.
But that really speaks to the turnaround. You know, last year, this late in the season, the Hawks are playing for pride. This year, you're playing right now for home field advantage. You're playing for seeding and matchups, and it's such a different conversation. It's just what an exciting time to be following this team.
The 1-2 to Poncho swings through that one, and he's down on strikes for the second time tonight for the second out of the inning.
Boy, Kip has 34 strikes to 13 balls right now.
Now
That guy,
batting, the designated
through
hitter.
3 2/3, is feeling solid.
Christian Moore comes back up to the dish for the second time tonight. He has a single and advanced to second on a pickoff error by Kip, but was stranded there. 2 down in the inning. Moore looking to spark a 2-out rally here in the top of the 4th. Still scoreless at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Pitchers dueled at this point. First pitch to Moore, breaking ball, hesitant to swing. Held up, but it's a called strike anyway, 0-1.
Yeah, you do mention the parallels are interesting because you have a guy in Kip that's really only been used as a 1-inning reliever on Cape to this point, and you have a guy in O'Rourke that's been used, you know, maybe a bit of a stretch reliever. He can give you 2-3 innings, but now both these guys are cruising into the 4th inning.
The 0-1 is popped up. Going to go back towards the playground behind the field, and Moore's behind 0-2.
Luckily, there is a net over the playground back there. I would like to wonder the story behind how a net was placed over the playground back there.
Do you think
Yeah.
when they built the playground, they just put a net up automatically?
Yeah,
or
that's too anticlimactic.
Do you think
I-
they waited for
yeah.
danger to strike and then put
Right.
the net up? Here's the 0-2 from Kip to Moore. It's in way in front of the plate, bouncing the dirt, and Moore didn't go around 1-2.
I have an idea that somebody thought it was a good idea to put a net up, and then somebody else said, no, it'll never happen. What are the odds? And then they ate crow, thus the net at Brewster.
I mean, maybe they should put nets over these parking lots right next to these ballparks, you know.
Okay, now we're getting crazy. What if they put a net over the whole world?
Yeah, that's
Then a
a good
foul
idea.
ball could never hit you. Bird couldn't poop on you?
The 1-2 to Moore. He swings and misses as Kip sets the Hawks down 1-2-3. A pair of punch-outs to go with it. The right-hander's looking good. We are still scoreless, believe it or not, as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
What are you looking forward to? Adding a takeout window?
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Tommy O'Rourke returns to the mound for now his 4th inning of work. To this point, 3 hitless innings, no runs, 1 walk, 3 punch-outs from the Stanford right-hander. They'll have to face the toughest part of the Brewster lineup, Carson DiMartini, Nick LaRusso, Grayson Tatro, the 2-3-4 hitters. as O'Rourke finishes a warm-up tosses, and it's been the combination of all his pitches working today, Drake, that's allowed O'Rourke to be propelled to success.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fastball. We've seen the slider, and he's a guy that's going to work those two pitches in the zone quite a bit. We've even seen from him almost more impressive in the pitch mixture, him walking a leadoff hitter in the last inning to start off the bottom of the third, and then finding his way out of it.
And the Whitecaps will send to the plate.
Number 16, Carson DeMartini.
Is DeMartini at the plate?
I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah, not too sure.
I wish they would have said his first name a little louder. I didn't catch it.
First pitch to DeMartini is a called strike, 0-1. DeMartini, an All-Star this year. I believe he started the All-Star game as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. You wouldn't know. The PA announcer there didn't say it near as loudly if he did.
Popped up. Down the third base line, Mitch Jebb steps into foul territory, makes a routine catch for the first out, and that is yet another infield pop-up induced by Tommy O'Rourke.
When a guy is really in his element, you're going to see a lot of these pop-ups. Tommy O'Rourke, man, I can't even finish my thoughts.
I don't blame you. It's quite loud in the background as Nick LaRusso stands in for the second time today, 0-for-1 with a strikeout swinging. First pitch to LaRusso is a breaking ball inside. O'Rourke's worked efficiently to this point. 27 strikes, 13 balls. Good for just, that 40 pitches? That's all?
Yeah.
Fouled back off the netting, 1-1. And
I mean, you're in territory where at 41 pitches, could O'Rourke now go 5 innings if he's able to get another quick couple of outs? It's not out of the picture when you expected the guy to go 60, 70 pitches, and he was seen so often in a starter role. Not often, but he was seen in a starter role at least at Stanford in the spring.
The 1-1, and way over the top of that slider, 1-2. It was a nasty pitch with great movement. Ahead of another Whitecap, 1-2, and LaRusso's in danger of striking out again. Here's the pitch from O'Rourke, fastball just a bit high. Tommy O'Rourke gets the ball. He goes right back to the mound, and within 10 seconds, he's throwing the next pitch.
Yeah, here's a guy that is just, he's trying to work as efficiently as possible, and to this point, he's done just that.
He sports the number 11, once worn by Brody McCullough, and he has been just as efficient as Brody.
Right.
As Brody had made a few starts here in the Cape League, left as a strikeout leader in the entire CCBL before being selected by the Chicago Cubs, I believe, in the MLB draft.
I thought you were going to say left as a Chicago Cub.
Did do that, yeah. He plays for the Cubs now.
Here comes the 3-2. Ground ball to short. Don Patelli charges in, and it goes off of his glove, and that'll allow LaRusso to reach base on what should be ruled an error by the shortstop.
Well, as it is an E6, but that dirt at shortstop has given both shortstops problems tonight.
That it has.
It's laughable. It's just comical at this point. Everybody's got a headache here. Everybody's got a headache. You can see people grimacing.
Grayson Tatro comes back to the plate for his second AB. He's 0-for-0 tonight, that is, with a walk. Over on first now is LaRusso after reaching on the error. One down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Whitecaps still searching for their first hit. O'Rourke comes set for just the second time tonight from the stretch. Here comes the fastball. Just misses a bit high, 1-0.
And that one's not too far out of the zone there, and a pretty good pitch from O'Rourke. Missed by an inch or so. If you keep coming into the zone here and attacking after an error, you'll be in good shape. But an error followed up by a walk, and I know we're plenty far from that, but really the opposite of what you'd like to see.
LaRusso leads off first, a new Whitecap, just his second start of the year. Back-to-back games he's been in the lineup. Tatro's been one of the mainstays in this lineup. Hard hit ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Sirota's charging in. LaRusso's on his way to third. Here comes the throw from Sirota, and safely at third will be LaRusso. A single puts runners on the corners now with one down.
Okay, so now if you're Tommy O'Rourke, this is the first time that you've really been to jam this game. And yet,
keep going.
The first base.
One pitch gets you out of this inning. So it's not like the escape valve isn't there. It definitely is. But you have to be careful not trying to pepper the strike zone here because Mendham's a guy that can make you pay.
David Mendham 0-for-1 today with a flyout to center field. And if he replicates that hit, that'll bring home a run with just one out. The sac play is in order. Off of third, LaRusso. Off of first, Tatro at the dish. Mendham with O'Rourke on the mound. Comes set here, bottom fourth, one down. Infielded double play depth. First pitch hit on the ground through the right side, a base hit. That'll score a run. It'll be unearned on the error. Going to third is Tatro. Here comes the throw from Sirota. It is cut off by Patelli. So runners once again at the corners on the RBI single from David Mendham.
Yeah, good call for the cutoff there from Patelli. I don't think it would have gotten to Jeb in time. Not an earned run for O'Rourke. And as we talked about, it's how do you respond? After an error as a pitcher, no one's going to come pat you on the back. No one's going to come say sorry. You've got to get yourself out of it at this point, even if it's not your mistake. And O'Rourke allows 2 singles, and now you see a run on the board.
Hey, and O'Rourke got the initial result he wanted. He got a weak ground ball. The problem was, who was it hit to? Absolutely nobody.
Yeah, Ohm is going to come out and have a meeting on the mound. And so now you go from Mendham to Keister and then Atkinson, so you're getting deeper into this lineup. But Keister comes up batting .316.
Kevin Keister did not start this season. I love this. Love this team name. Kevin Keister played 4 games before he came to Brewster with the only crop dusters. What a name. Out of the Cal Ripken League. And
the what?
Only crop dusters.
The only ones? They're the only crop dusters.
Only, as in only Maryland. I don't know where that is.
They're
only.
I think there are more than 1 crop dusters in America. Not.
First pitch to Keister, misses low, 1-0. Runners remain on the corner. Still 1 down. Brewster has their first run across of the inning. And
I mean, it would have to be a pretty big crop duster.
Well,
kind of like that net.
To be the only one.
Yeah.
Here comes the 1-0. Also misses below the zone, 2-0. We can't see if there's any action in the Harbor Hawk arm barn down the right field line.
You can't, can you?
No,
the only time we'll be able to tell
like there's anybody warming.
I bet you there's somebody at least stretching.
Thank you to Ella and Abby for our booth cam, too.
Yeah, you could see me attempting to, you know.
Oh, you're still doing it?
Slide to the left. Boom. Slide to the
2-0
right.
on its way from O'Rourke as he comes set and brings home a fastball. Hard hit through the left side, a base hit. Another run's going to score for the Whitecaps. As Tatro comes in standing 2-0 Brewster.
That's tough because O'Rourke is getting ground balls. It's not like he is putting himself in danger necessarily. He's just gotten no help. He's had an error, and now he's gotten ground ball after ground ball after ground ball that have just been hit to the wrong parts of the infield.
Yeah, O'Rourke is induced. I wouldn't even say they're hard contacts. A lot of them just ground balls well placed. Brings up Chase Atkinson. Hawks now chasing 2. Bottom of the 4th, still 1 out. Double plays in order. First and second. That one's hit high to right field. The crowd comes to their feet, but Sirota has it played perfectly. No advance on the runners as he throws it home as nobody was on third base. Interesting throw in, but it was on the money.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why the throw came home with a runner at second base, but insurance, you know, just double checking, just make sure
you what he can do.
You thought you were going to tag up from second to home on a routine pop fly? Ha! Think again.
So 2 down now. Runners hold at first and second, and Logan Bravo will come to the plate. Bravo 0 for 1, a strikeout swinging on his line so far.
No relation to Johnny. Double-checked that one prior to the game today, and we could confirm. So we're good to go there.
Bravo had a sensational summer last year with the North Shore Navigators in the NECBL, 287 batting average, hit 14 home runs in 39 games.
14 home runs in 39 games. In the NECBL, which is basically, if the Cape Cod Baseball League's the MLB, that's AAA.
Yeah.
Or AA, maybe. What do you think?
Quite the numbers. There's a reason that he's now here. Here comes the 1-0. Popped foul out of play, 1-1. Bravo was with North Shore when they were with the FCBL in 2020. He hit 329 that summer. North Shore then jumps to the NECBL.
He jumped with them.
He went with them.
Wow.
Hit 287, and then he hit 12 more home runs in the same amount of games.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Logan Bravo has found his power.
He had an offseason somewhere in there. Big dude, too, huh?
Hit 355 at Harvard this past spring with 8 long balls. Here comes the 1-1 to Bravo. He hits that one hard into left field and does what he does best. That's driving runs. Rounding third, coming home. David Mendham in standing as Logan Bravo's in at second with an RBI double. Runners now at second and third with 2.
RBI, Logan Bravo!
Well, that's the first time that we've really seen an RBI that I would say is on O'Rourke. You can't hang that pitch to Logan Bravo after all he's done. Like you mentioned, great hitter, knocks in a lot of runs, just left it too high up in the zone.
What was that thing that I was saying about how O'Rourke could possibly come out for the 5th?
I don't think that's happening.
Go ahead and redact that.
Yeah, O'Rourke now with 3 runs across. Hawks chasing 3-0 here. Still bottom of the 4th, long inning, the 8th. Batter to the plate, Ryan Lasko now. First pitch from O'Rourke, just misses a bit high and in. And he's done all this without really walking anybody. Just 1 walk tonight. It's been hits. A pop-up followed by an error. Then a single, a single, a single, a fly-out, and a double. And Brewster has himself a 3-0 lead here. 1-0 the count to Ryan Lasko. Hawks are familiar with him. He pops it up. Drifts out a play off towards the concession stand here at Stony Brook Field, and the count will even up at 1-1.
Landed just shy of the rest.
Rooms. Well, this is how you win on Cape Cod. You're not going to win with power as much as you're going to win with stringing hits together. And that's exactly what the Whitecaps have done here in this 4th inning.
O'Rourke comes set. Here comes the 1-1. Off-speed pitch misses low. Ruiz tried to present it to the umpire, but just too low in the zone to get the call.
But this is a huge batter here because 3-0, you can come back from maybe even in an inning. But 5-0, that's a completely different beast.
2-1. O'Rourke comes back with a good pitch with some movement on it. 2-2 as Lasko goes over the top of it.
All right. You're O'Rourke. You still have, 3 runs that come across. You're trying to limit the damage as much as possible. 2 in scoring position. I go back to the old strike pitch right here.
2-2. That is the ball pitch, and it misses low. 3-2.
Now, going in the dirt was not exactly what I had drawn up in my head right there. But O'Rourke does have 3 Ks through 3 2/3.
Full count. As O'Rourke comes set, here comes the payoff pitch to Lasko. Breaking ball pop foul as Ryan Lasko spoiled a good one.
And he has only been charged with 1 earned run.
Yeah,
also, 4 hits here for Brewster. All 4 of them coming here in the bottom of the 4th.
Hey, he was no-hitting him through the first 9 outs. 10 outs. Got that pop-up to lead off the 4th.
O'Rourke comes set. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, 2 down here. The payoff pitch once more. Breaking ball misses low. He lets Lasko off the hook and walks him.
That might do it for O'Rourke's day. We'll see if Beatty comes out. For now, he looks put.
Now betting the short
and they're going to leave, they'll leave O'Rourke in, and you'll see.
Xavier Penales comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Both pop-ups were to third base.
On the first pitch of the at-bats.
So we'll see if he's aggressive here with the bases loaded and 2 down. Brewster already has 3 runs home in the inning as they hold a 3-0 lead over the Hawks. First pitch, he does swing, but it's fouled off.
Now, Pinales, this is only his 2nd game as a Whitecap. He spent the first 21 games of this summer in the MLB Draft League as a member of the West Virginia Black Bears. Did pretty well there, 1 homer, 14 RBIs, an average of .269.
The 0-1 misses high to Pinales, and count evens up at 1-1. He is a bit older, 22 years old.
Oh, wow. Hey.
A lot of the younger prospects are in the MLB Draft League.
Yeah.
O'Rourke comes set, the 1-1. Ground ball to second, Nishida charges in. Riku flips on to first in time, and O'Rourke gets out of a bases-loaded jam, but not before the Whitecaps score 3 runs as they storm ahead to lead it 3-0 as we head to the 5th inning of baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Welcome back on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the 5th inning, new pitcher takes the mound to spell Grant Kipp. And before we tell you about him, we'll tell you about one of our amazing sponsors, the Massachusetts Health Connector Special Enrollment. Lose your job? Just have a baby. just turned 26 and are off your parents' health insurance?
Well, do you have to be all three, or can you be any of one of the three?
Well, the Massachusetts Health Connector has you covered. When life changes mean health care changes, the Health Connector makes sure you still have coverage. The Health Connector won't let you go without coverage. Reach out to learn more. Call us today at 1-877-MA-enroll. That's 1-877-MA-enroll, or go to www.mahealthconnector.org/get-help to get covered today. As a new pitcher on the mound is the right-hander Jackson Nezu.
Yeah, I do want to throw in here that the PA guy just gave away a raffle for a, get this.
A what?
Baseball hat. Not a baseball hat, even. It's a cap. A New Orleans Saints cap.
Huh?
They did a raffle for a New Orleans Saints hat at the Brewster Whitecap.
Who dat?
Stony Brook Field today. I just have a question. Not only that, prior to the game, you heard, Austin, their awards that they gave out to the players.
Yes.
7 games left in the season. They did some superlatives today.
They did. Team MVP, Pitcher of the Year, Offensive
While they were
Player
watering the field, too. So no actual awards. Half the guys had already left the team. Some funky stuff going on at Stony Brook Field, but like you mentioned, we're going to see a new pitcher come into the ball game here. Zach, what do you know?
Well, he saw the Harbor Hawks last Friday, went 1 inning, just allowed 1 hit, struck out 2. He's appeared in now 6 games here on Cape Cod. It's got an ERA of 5.52, 18 strikeouts to 8 walks, but 14 hits. Someone that allows a lot of contact.
Good. Dom Patelli back at the plate to greet Nezuth. First pitch to Patelli, called strike. The right-hander's on the board, and his first pitch he throws tonight. He comes in to relieve the starter for Brewster, who was sensational by the name of Grant Kipp. 4 innings, 2 hits, no walks or runs, and he struck out 5. Couldn't have asked for a better start by Kipp as Patelli drops a bunt. It goes foul, 0-2.
Well, this is the time to respond. You just allowed a 3 spot. You lost the game last night in really ugly fashion. How can you come back here in the top of the 5th and put up a couple right away? You're down 3-0, certainly not insurmountable, but it starts with 1-2 base runners here with Dom Patelli leading the way. Not to mention the spot you're in the lineup with Patelli, who you're trying to get back into a groove, who's top 25 in the league in batting average. Tito Flores, Shawnuel, Nishida, I mean, you're in a fine spot to do it all.
See what Patelli can do here. He's facing a pitcher who came in tonight with a little bit of a high ERA, 5.52. He's 1-2 on the year as Nezu. First pitch, the 0-2 is a first ball he's thrown to Patelli. 1-2 now the count.
Nezu is a feast or famine type pitcher. He's had 2 outings where he's given up multiple earned runs. Every other outing he's had, he's been spotless.
See which version the Hawks face today, and if that's any indication, it's going to be the feast version of Nezu as he gets Patelli down swinging.
Yeah, I would like to face the Nezu who gave up 6 earned runs against Chatham on June 25th, but he also gave up 3 earned runs on July 15th against Katuitt. Both of those games were losses. If he could just do that for us,
I'm sorry, he gave up 6 earned runs to who?
Chatham.
Well,
those bats are top notch.
Right now they are.
Well,
they weren't
even then,
for a while.
Yeah, they've been consistent under the leadership of Tom Holliday, one of the most decorated managers in the Cape Cod baseball league.
Talk about a legend, too, man. All in the family. Tom Holliday is maybe the craftiest, just most head-smart coach that we've seen on Cape Cod.
Here comes the 1-0 to Tito. Misses low, below the knees. 2-0. Tito Flores 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to right field. See if he can get the inning started for the Hawks. 1 down here on the top of the 5th. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball. Flores skies it to the right side of the field, drifting out of play, and the count will move to 2-1.
Yeah, against righties, Nezu 67% fastball guy, 25% slider, so another fastball slider from the right side. Sits 89 to 93, and that slider is 77 to 81. Not great velocity on the slider here. Maybe the Harbor Hawks can catch it and take advantage of it.
Here's the windup and the 2-1 to Tito in the dirt, and skips up into the press box, 3-1.
The PA announcer tried to catch it. It's too bad there's a net there. He'd have had it, I trust.
Here comes 3-1 to Flores. Fastball inside called strike. Tito started to run to first base, but it was right over the plate.
Even flipped his bat, too. He was that confident.
Now, I am going to side with the umpire on this one. That one looked fairly squarely in the zone. Flores will apologize and step back into the box as an umpire. Not that you hold any grudges, but you certainly recognize when a player does that.
Deep breath from Tito as the 3-2 is impending. Nizu gets the sign from his catcher Atkinson. Here comes the full count pitch. This time it misses low. So Tito will indeed have his walk with one down.
Well, very big thank you to the home plate umpire for not calling that a strike. He only missed the zone by about 2 inches right there. And typically after a guy tosses the bat on a ball, it's called a strike. You get him called anywhere near the zone. Thankfully, it didn't happen there for Flores.
Number 12.
What were you saying about Italian names? And
Joe Lapella behind the plate, Rich Capelli at first, and Alan Libardoni at third.
All right. The salad comes on top. I send it back.
Called strike to Shawnuel, who stands in for the second time after a pretty hard hit single back up the middle in his first at-bat. He's got a runner on by the name of Tito Flores, another 2022 All-Star. So something good about your lineup when you have 2 All-Stars batting 7 and 9.
Yeah, and then go back up to the 1 hole and you get Mitch Jebb, who's one of the top maybe 5 hitters in the league.
All-Stars at 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9 in this Harbor Hawk lineup.
Well, that will certainly play.
And a pair of pitchers to go with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin Hyannis certainly would have been an All-Star, left just 3 days shy of the break.
As would Brody McCullough.
Yeah.
Hawks team full of stars. You've seen it throughout the draft results and also the All-Star game, the 0-2 to Shawnuel. He checks his swing. It was up and close to hitting him in the chin. We're going to say it hit him on the hand, it looks like. So Shawnuel's okay. That was a dangerous pitch. Couldn't tell if it hit him or the bat, but they will say that it hit his hand.
So the umpire is going to come out, and he's going to talk to the other guys in the field. It looks like that ball up and in, some high heat. Shawnuel checks the swing. The ball hits him in the hand, and when it did, he spins around in pain. Now, at the same time, that could be considered a swing, and I think if you go truly by the rule book here, they're going to say that Shawnuel did swing, and in that case, what do you get here? Shawnuel's out.
Hit batter, no swing they
okay,
say.
okay.
So that puts runners on first and second with 1 out. So that gives the Hawks a chance here now.
Right.
To put a rally together.
I think that is the right call, too, because you'd see it hits Shawnuel, and then he spins around in pain. So the bat comes around with him, but it's tough. If the ball hits you first there, I think they got the call right.
Yes, the ball hits you first. If your body makes contact with the baseball before the bat does,
the second baseman from Mount Hood Community College.
There was no contact with the bat, luckily.
Riku Nishida.
I wonder who's up right now?
Riku Nishida.
Oh, okay.
1 down, runners on first and second. Flores over at second after the walk. Shawnuel at first after the hit by pitch. And Riku, another All-Star. Chance here to get the Hawks back into this game down 3-0. Nishida swings to the first pitch. It's a weak pop-up to short. Penales bobbles and everybody's safe. Nishida bloops one over the pitcher's mound. The shortstop couldn't make the play. It may have been an infield single either way, but now that loads the bases for the top of the order, and just like that, the Hawks have the tying run aboard.
Riku Nishida has 22 stolen bases this season, and I think nearly as many broken bats as well. That guy does that like it's an art, and right there it pays off, where I don't think Penales makes that play in general. I think Nishida's safe at first base no matter what.
Riku Nishida and the art of the infield broken bat single. What more could you ask for than the bases loaded, 1 out, and Mitch Jebb at the plate?
Yeah. Well, you could ask for Mike Sirota, former Brewster Whitecap, who had a triple against the Whitecaps last week.
Was it eventually ruled a triple?
Oh, yes.
Jebb fouls it off. So bases loaded, 1 down. Mitch Jebb behind the count 0-1. And after Jackson Nezu entered the game and struck out the first batter he's faced, we're getting the other version where he allows a lot of base runners.
Yeah. I like that. I would much prefer this version of him, the 6 earned run guy.
Yeah, they were down 3. after 3 runs came across in the bottom of the 4th. We'll see if they can get any back here. Jeb's now behind 0-2 as he fouls that pitch off.
Well, I'm going to hold that. You know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to hold that. The last time Brewster Whitecaps
Zach
faced a batter with the bases loaded. It was in the first inning of yesterday's game as Joe Vitrano came to the plate with the bases juiced. You know what he did? He hit one over the wall. Harbor Hawks have not hit one of those yet this year.
Jeb at the plate. Mizzou on the mound as he comes set. The 0-2, that one is also lined down the left field line and way out of play. If Jeb could keep that ball fair, that was a hard hit liner.
Yeah, you got Tito Flores, solid speed at third. Nolan Shonowell, sneaky speed at first. Riku Nishida standing at first base. He could find his way to third on a single pretty easily as he is the fastest player on Cape Cod.
I'd say a gapper at least would score 2, would definitely get Riku waved around. A gapper that's not hit with much velocity ties the game.
Yeah. What about a pop fly?
Pop fly, well, depends how far it goes.
What about a strikeout?
Depends on if the catcher drops it or not.
Foul ball?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it's hit foul long down the line and it's caught, you know, that Tito can tag.
What about a curveball hits Mitch Jeb in the calf?
Hopefully he's okay, scores a run.
We've gone through every possible scenario.
Are we going baseball wargaming right now?
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what Coach Beatty's going to call.
So Jeb returns to the plate after a brief mound visit for Brewster. 0-2 still the count to Mitch, 1 down, bases loaded.
Signals 4
and
verts
time
here.
is called again. What does Riku Nishida need from the dugout?
Yeah, he's pointing. He's actually asking the umpire about something. Now the umpire is calling time. Nishida is... Okay, now the umpire's signaling to the Brewster dugout.
They need a trainer down the right field side. Somebody's not fielding well, evidently.
Interesting. You know, the Harbor Hawks have Julia, a trainer of their own, in their own dugout, so not sure what exactly is occurring in the Harbor Hawk dugout here, but it's something that I'm sure we could come back and give you an update on.
Yes, we got a little bit of a situation. They're going to attend to somebody down the right field side. Bases will be loaded. We'll take a brief break here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Traffic is treacherous. There's a fender bender on the pike. Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jamma. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot. You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Having a 5G phone that's not on T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing ice hockey. Using pool noodles. Get out of the penalty box with 5G coverage like this. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. T-Mobile, more 5G bars in more places. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Bronk.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you. Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Bases are still loaded. There's been a brief issue with a fan not feeling well on the side of the field, so we will have baseball back in action. I hope the fan's doing okay down the right field line. All the players are all right. We're got the bases loaded for Mitch Jebb, who still has an 0-2 count with one down.
Well,
yeah,
if there's any time for Mitch Jebb to, hit the call the home run play, I'd say right now.
Is there any time to jinx it there?
Yep, now he's got a 2-strike count here, and we just had to wait, 4 or 5 minutes right there, so.
If you're Mitch Jebb, what goes through your head when you have such a big spot? You're already down the count, and you have to pause for a couple minutes.
The 0-2 to Jebb, and thank you, Zach Berman, as Jebb goes down swinging. The throw down to first hits Riku Nishida square in the back on a back pick attempt. So Riku took that one pretty hard as Jebb goes down swinging on what can only be chalked up to an announcer jinx.
Yeah, very nicely done. We come back immediately from commercial break, and
Zach calls the home run play in an 0-2 count.
All right, Zach, what are you going to tell us about Mike Sirota here? What do you want him to do?
Now batting the right fielder from
Are we
Northeastern.
playing, the opposite game here? Or are you trying
we're not going to do what we just did again.
Yeah, let's learn from our mistakes. From Sirota, former Brewster Whitecap, who is a pretty good guy at baseball.
Yeah.
Doing that whole baseball thing.
Bases remain loaded for Sirota, 2 down to the inning. Hawks looking for their first run here in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Sirota called strike.
This is the same team that got Mike Sirota last Friday, the day before the All-Star game.
RBI's the game. It was a 3-2 win for the Hawks.
Nizu trying to get out of this inning. After he worked himself into a bases-loaded spot, the pitch to Sirota misses low, 1-1. The count evens up to the Northeastern star.
Nizu, a pretty true fastball slider guy when it comes to righties. Went to the slider there in the dirt. We'll see what he gives off to Sirota here.
Nizu comes set. Base is still loaded, 1-1 the count to Sirota. Pitch from the right-hander is a breaking ball. Sirota tried to park it, and it fouled it off the catcher's mask. That's a hanging breaking ball that if you get out in front of, you can do some damage on, but unfortunately it just ends up as a 1-2 count now.
Yeah, it looked like Sirota barely mistimed it, but that's one, like you said, if you make contact with that, heavens knows where that ball's ending up.
Nizu comes set. The 1-2. Up high, 2-2 now the count.
Hey, there's my pitch. There's your outside high fastball. Sirota doesn't bite. This is a big spot here. Top of the 5th. The Harbor Hawks looking for something, anything to get back in this game.
Well, if anybody in this spot is going to come to the plate and not be nervous, it's Mike Sirota. That's just his style. The guy doesn't overthink things.
The 2-2. Sirota comes up empty as he goes down swinging on a fastball at the letters. Bases are left loaded for the Hawks as they are come up empty in the top of the 5th inning. We'll take a brief break, but first we'll toss it over to our sideline reporter, Bria Lawson.
Franklin Sports. Thank you so much, Austin. We've talked a lot about the turnover, especially in the pitching staff, as the summer winds down. And the Harbor Hawks have had quite a big one. They activated 3 pitchers just yesterday, including Braden Nelson from Tampa. He posted a 1.79 ERA with a 6-1 record, 11 saves in 60 1/3 innings pitched, registering 63 Ks. Then you have Ryan Steinhauer from Dayton, comes in with a 4.39 ERA in 53 1/3 pitch for the Flyers. He had his debut last night for the Harbor Hawks, gave up 2 runs and 1 hit in 1 2/3 innings. And then finally rounding out those new pitchers for the Harbor Hawks is Holland Towns. He's a University of Southern Miss commit, comes from Hines Community College, posted a 2.96 ERA for them in 76 innings, 93 Ks, and giving up just 68 hits. All 3 of those Harbor Hawks could be key components in their push to win the West and for a fight for prime seeding in the playoffs that the Harbor Hawks have already clinched. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Bria. We'll take a brief break, and when we return, we have a new pitcher on the bump for the Harbor Hawks on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
See you soon at Gannon's Tavern.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Carson DiMartini, take it away. As he will lead us off here in the now bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0, the Whitecaps lead it. Hawks had a chance to tie the game, but left the bases loaded in the last half of the inning as Isaiah Rhodes now comes to the mound and allows a leadoff single on the first pitch to DiMartini.
Oh, duffed by McConnell. Recovered nicely by Tito Flores, who's backing him up there, so nobody hurt.
And folks, a big word of thanks to the Whitecaps training staff and to the first responders from the
shouldn't be announced, but
and the ambulance.
Yeah, I don't.
Big word of thanks to our first responders.
Well, Tommy O'Rourke's day is done after 4 innings. He allowed just 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and you go from that announcement to yelling about who's now batting.
Yeah, I think that's in poor taste, but now you got a runner on first base, and you just come into the ball game. You've got to try to get out of it with the funky arm slot, too, as you see that strike call from Isaiah Rhodes. What do you call that, a true sidearm?
I don't know. It's almost like 3/4, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think that's true.
Full sidearm submarine.
Partial sidearm. Not
that would be
quite all the
3/4.
way.
Yeah. I think partial sidearm is almost more official, though.
1-1 the count. Rhodes has been good in 6 2/3 this year. He struck out 12 hitters and sports a 2.70 ERA. We haven't seen him a ton.
No.
But when he's pitched, it's been not necessarily lights out, but he's been able to work out jams. He's allowed a few more base runners than you'd hope. That one misses outside, 2-1. Daylight at a premium here at Stony Brook Field, hence the 4 p.m. start time to this game.
Right.
An hour and a half in, we're about halfway through the ball game, so
Yeah.
on pace to wrap up in time for the light. 2-1 from Rhodes on its way. That one softly hit down the right field side out of play, and the count will hold it 2-2.
You know who Isaiah Rhodes' arm slot reminds me of?
Chris Sale.
I was going to say former Wareham Gateman, current
Clayton
Chicago
Kershaw.
Cub, might be somewhere else something soon.
Mac
Scott
Muncy?
Efros.
Who?
Scott Efros, Cubs reliever?
No, I'm pretty sure he's the 9th guy on the Chicago Bulls.
I think you mean Koji Uehara.
Former Red Sox.
Or Joe Nathan? Is that who you're going for?
Joe Nathan.
Sorry,
Twins
Eric
closer.
Gagne.
I'm sorry, I was
that's who
thinking
it
of Joe
was. I just
Namath.
put it into Google Translate, and
Eric Andre, you said?
Scott Efros comes up as Eric Gagne.
Okay.
No, see, Efros has more of a submarine delivery. That one's popped up. And by popped up, that is to left center field and well hit. McConnell makes the catch for out number 1.
Is it kind of like you said, if you look up Efros, what comes up?
Eric Gagne.
It's kind of like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Eric Gagne,
Lou
the
Alcindor
only-
thing.
What?
Yeah.
He has 2.
Yeah.
Is that what the? Okay.
Eric
2
Gagne,
names?
the only closer to ever win the Cy Young Award.
Right fielder from Abilene Christian.
Did Mariano Rivera never win one?
Nope.
That's a shame. Who do we got to talk to but get that changed?
I don't know if that, you said he's the only closer. No.
I want to say I believe so.
All right.
Steve Bedrosian won it. He was the Phillies closer in 1987.
That's what I was gonna
saved
say.
40 games. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Mr. Berman, that's been debunked.
Yes, that was debunked.
0-1 now the count to Grayson Tatro. Runner on first after the leadoff single, Carson DiMartini.
They're going to say you didn't go. Not sure what they saw there, but okay.
We sure? Oh.
Yeah.
Guess 1-0.
I don't think we're sure, but we called it that. So
Pitch from Rhodes is a nice Breaking ball, 1-1 the count.
See, he swung just about the same there, and that's how he went. So, at 1-1 count there, and have Rochelle Shonowell says, why only showing the broadcasters in the top right corner? Well, that's the Manning cam. We have a radio broadcast today, but we have a live look inside of our booth as well.
Ground ball right side. Shonowell fields it, throws to second for one. The return throw to first is in time. Rhodes rolls a double play to end the inning as the Harbor Hawks slam the door on a Whitecap rally. They go down relatively quickly as the Hawks coming up to bat for the bottom of the fifth on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, audio only, live from Brewster when we return.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College Continuing Graduate Studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the sixth inning. Harbor Hawks still looking for their first run, but they've had a couple of chances, Zach, and they have come up empty with runners in scoring position.
Well, not only does this carry over to last night. You know, yesterday they were down 5-4 in the sixth inning. They had first and third with one out, and Riku and Mitch Jebb at the plate. They didn't get anything out of it. Now tonight, we're starting to see maybe a little bit of the hang-ups that the Hawks had with runners in scoring position come back. You know, that's just something that happens over the course of a baseball season. Guys are going to get hot. Guys are going to go cold. It's a matter of who is going to be that guy in a blue jersey to step up and snack and, you know, get the team out of the funk.
You see the cut and miss from McConnell, and the Harbor Hawks have stranded 5 guys so far in this ball game today. So over the course of those 5 innings, including that bases loaded scenario with only 1 guy down.
The 0-1 is inside to McConnell, 1-1.
Base is juiced, and 2 guys come up, and they both strike out, especially top 2 guys in the lineup. Not exactly what you drew up.
It's very uncharacteristic of this team because they're not a big strikeout team. You'll at least see them get a run across in those situations. McConnell goes after a high fastball. He's now behind 1 and 2 in the count.
A lot of whiffs tonight, I got to tell you.
They lead the league right now in strikeouts, or lack thereof, when they're at the plate.
They've struck out the least in the entire Cape Cod baseball
That's kind of what I was
looking for.
They've
already struck out 8 times in 5 innings today.
The windup and the 1-2 to Cole McConnell. Fastball up at the eyes. Now count moves to 2 and 2.
You know, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings sounds like a lot. 11 strikeouts in 5 innings, though.
Yeah.
Monumental.
How about JJ? How big could he possibly be as a starter for a playoff game?
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, after last night.
Right. A lot more confidence in his arm.
2-2 is fouled off by McConnell. Jay Driver didn't start a single game at Harvard in the spring.
Yeah.
He started 2 games last summer in the summer league, and they didn't go poorly. They didn't go particularly well. He started
let's
one
be clear.
game, one game prior to last night. It was against the Bourne Braves, and he was kind of left hung out to dry a bit by his defense. They made a few errors.
Yeah.
Comes back last night, second start of the year, 5 innings of 1-run baseball while striking out 11, and the final score ends up being 12-5, and they lose. McConnell goes down swinging on the 3rd straight punch-out by Nezu.
9th strikeout of the game for the Hawks and only 5 1/3. But like you mentioned, Jay Driver coming in and doing that in a game where, let's be clear, Falmouth's bats are red hot right now. They wind up dropping 12 on the Harbor Hawks. And for a guy to come in and strike the Commodores out 11 times, only 5 innings, that's an eye-opener.
Poncho Ruiz at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. That one misses high at the eye level to the San Diego State catcher.
You know, there is no must-win scenario when you lead the league. You're literally the best team on Cape Cod right now, right? And you're leading your division as well. No must-win scenario.
And you've already
clinched. Right now, against Brewster, your next 2 games are going to be Katuitt, YD, and Bourne. That's the stretch here. It's called strike.
Or should I say
so
Katuitt
winning
back-to-back.
against a team that is under 500 by 3 games before you get into that stretch, it would behoove you. Probably a good idea.
Here comes the 1-1 to Ruiz, and that one's popped foul over our heads now to play.
Watch out, Zach. Watch out, Zach. Watch out, Zach. Okay. Hit the net in the playground.
I mean, let's be real here. Yes, the Harbor Hawks have already clinched the playoffs, but
thankfully,
you don't want to go into the playoffs, which, by the way, start a
You don't?
week. You don't want to go into the playoffs
Why
cold.
wouldn't you? Oh,
cold. Here comes the 1-2 to Ruiz. Breaking ball. Poncho skies it to center field. Lasco has it played, trots in a few steps, makes a catch for out number 2, 2 up, 2 down, and 4 straight retired by Nezu. And the Hawks, this is a prime opportunity for them. Brewster's 3-7 in their last 10 games. Third in the East, a notably weaker division of the two. And the Hawks come in, they're already trailing 3-0 through 5 complete and have 2 outs here on the top of the 6th. This would be prime opportunity for them to pick up a win and hopefully keep pace where they are ahead of Katuitt, heading into 2 straight games against the Cavaliers. And unfortunately, it seems like they're fumbling that opportunity so far. Here's the windup. Pitch to Moore. First pitch at the eyes, ball 1. And tomorrow night, the Hawks will have to head to Lowell Park. It's not an easy place to play.
Nope.
And a crosstown rivalry.
At 4:30, too.
Yeah.
At Lowell Park this season?
Yeah, you better get it in, too, because they will daylight's at a premium there, and they'll make the most of what they have.
Yes, they will.
Here comes the 1-0. Moore goes over the top of that one. Count evens up at 1 apiece.
Well, that's a big reason that you see the game at 4:30 instead of 4. If Brewster can play at 4, there's no reason that Katuitt and other ballparks without lights don't play their games at 4 as well.
Yeah.
Playing at 4:30 gives them an even better opportunity to play the lights. I mean, that's part of the game when you go to a ballpark that doesn't have any.
The Zoo comes set and winds up the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Now the count. 2 down in the inning. Mcconnell led off by going down swinging. Ruiz followed that up with a fly out to center field. Now Christian Moore, who's 1 for 2 today, will look to start a 2-out rally. Zoo gets the sign from Atkinson, the catcher, brings home the 2-1. Christian Moore can connect with a fastball 2-2.
For a team that doesn't cut and miss a whole lot, it almost feels a little bit uncharacteristic for the Hawks that have been swinging and missing a lot today. Not just on strikeouts, but they're getting behind in counts more often than they typically do.
Here comes the windup, the 2-2 to Christian Moore. Breaking ball hit hard back at the mound and gloved there by Nezu. He flips on to first to end the inning. Hawks go down in order here in the top of the 6th. Just 3 sets of at-bats left for the Hawks, the 7th, 8th, and the 9th. They're still trailing 3 runs. Brewster's looking to add on when we return to the bottom of the 6th inning.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard of excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College continuing in graduate studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. 'Cause I'm paying so much for home internet, and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy. Great. Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one cord.
Bro, wow.
Internet without BS.
Oh boy, welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Austin Akuta, Drake Toll, and Zach Berman with you. And a quick word from one of our sponsors before we begin the action. T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more. Isaiah Rhodes back on the mound for now his 2nd inning of work, and he begins by getting David Mendham to swing over the top of an off-speed pitch. 0-1 the count.
I got to tell you, if you replaced my alarm clock with the Brewster PA system, I might be able to kick my Dunkin' Donuts habit. May never have to drink an ounce of coffee ever again for the rest of my life.
Because it would just jolt you awake?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The 0-1, did he go? Yes, indeed. Mendham, they didn't even check it and said he went around 0-2.
Oh.
Well, Mendham's
Mendham said something that was not the nicest thing to say to a person, and the home plate umpire did not like it very much, so he politely asked for him no longer to say said thing, and we play on.
Well, this is one of
Mendham was right, though, by the way. He didn't come close to swinging, and they didn't even check it.
I don't know why they don't check it in this league.
You have 2 other guys on this baseball field that can tell you what happened.
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
You have the worst angle of anyone.
Here comes the 0-2 to Mendham, and he holds up this time 1-2.
Did he? He leaned that bat forward a little bit.
We got a good angle right here. Mendham. I mean, we can't typically see the cleats that these guys are wearing that clearly. Mendham very clearly wearing
Adidas.
No, those are the Nike accented Oklahoma State cleats.
That's the Under Armour logo, so.
That looks like a swoosh to me.
I don't know. Here comes the 1-2 from Rhodes. Misses low, 2-2.
Some guys will choose to wear their school's cleats. Some will not.
There are no team cleats, so I think you can only really wear your school's cleats. Unless you bring your own.
The league does not supply any cleats at all that match the Harbor Hawks or the Whitecap colors, but some guys will just, like Isaiah Rhodes. Well, they match Southern Miss, the black.
BYOC.
Here comes a 2-2.
Oh, good pitch.
Inside and low. That was inside. 3-2.
It was actually right over the plate, just a little low.
Yeah.
Good pitch.
So the count moves to full to David Mendham. Let's try to get you some noise around the ballpark.
Right, it's kind of a dangerous game you're playing there, my friend.
Rhodes comes set. Here comes the full count pitch, and the dirt gets to the backstop, and it's a walk as Rhodes was ahead 0-2. Throws 4 straight balls, and Mendham will head down to first base to lead off this bottom of the 6th inning.
That's a good job by Mendham. Laying off, it was that 2-2 pitch that could have been called.
There it is.
Kevin Keister beat you to it. Keister now coming up to the plate, who is 1 for 2 today with an RBI single, was left stranded over at third base in the bottom of the 4th inning. Comes up with nobody out and a man on first. Rhodes did spin a double play last inning. We'll see if he can do it again. Not on that pitch, ball 1.
Well, Rhodes is aiming low. He's trying to get that ground ball induced double play. He's looking to get ground balls here. And as we saw in the 4th inning, ground balls aren't necessarily your friend. Tommy O'Rourke got a bunch of them, and they only resulted in hits and runs.
Called strike 1-1.
Very, very interesting strike call there. Looked a little low and outside from our perspective, but toss a little bone to Isaiah Rhodes there. All right with that.
There comes the 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Pretty similar spot there, too. Just couldn't get the call.
See where Rhodes goes here. With nobody out, runner on first, behind on the count to a man who already has an RBI single today in the name of Kevin Keister. Here comes the pitch. Checks his swing, and that time you went around. They won't check again, but I think that one was fairly certain. That evens the count at 2-2.
Now, certain it was. Kevin Keister got up from the swing and was looking almost directly behind the plate. He almost spun completely around.
Here comes the 2-2 from Isaiah Rhodes, and that one's hit down the third baseline foul. The count will hold where it is.
A couple of fastballs in a row from Rhodes. That one came in at 89 miles an hour. Had a pretty good cut to it, too. So you see that fastball from his arm slot. Gives you a tougher look at the baseball coming in on righties.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Down goes Keister for out number 1. Good pitch there by Isaiah Rhodes.
Yeah, slider, 81, and so not
Now
a huge.
batting, the catcher.
Continue.
Sorry, I can't. I lost my left eardrum earlier today. There goes the right.
Other, yeah.
So
poor guy.
I don't even. I don't. That's just. It feels like everybody's uncomfortable right now. You got to put yourself on watch for whenever it's coming next.
Here's Chase Atkinson. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts, 1 to center, 1 to right. Runner off of first is David Mendham as Atkinson's ahead in the count 1-0.
Today's game was brought to you by Excedrin. Excedrin, the official sponsor of the Brewster Whitecaps. Stony Brook Field.
Here comes a 1-0. Called strike. Count evens up. Is that an Oklahoma State helmet, I believe?
No, yes, Excedrin is for migraines.
Oh.
Aspirin,
Keen question, though.
Caffeine.
Yeah, I was looking at the helmet being worn by the catcher, Chase Atkinson. Surprised he's not playing over in Chatham for Tom Holliday. Here's the 1-1 over the top of that pitch, and 1-2 he's behind. It seems like Oklahoma State, if you play there, you're going to play for Chatham.
Why wouldn't you want? Why wouldn't you want to? Chatham has Tom Holliday. They have Veterans Field. They've got one of the best teams on Cape Cod year in and year out, and Holliday is maybe the premier manager in this league,
He's certainly a
too.
draw. The guys want to go there. They want to play for Tom Holliday. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball back up the middle. Could be 2. Patelli flips on a Riku for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Too high of a slow chopper in order to turn 2, but they do get the lead runner for out number 2.
Riku Nishida almost made one of the best plays you will see defensively all year. He takes the ball and spins. He does a full pirouette.
The left fielder.
You guys are looking at me saying,
number 17,
just try and finish
Logan
your
Bravo.
Logan Bravo steps to the plate. But no, that was a great turn by Riku. Almost turns 2, but like you said, you get the lead runner. I'm sure you'd prefer to have Atkinson, who's a bit slower than Keister on the base paths here.
First pitch to Bravo. He hits that one on the ground to short. Patelli comes in, flips on to second for the easy out, and the inning's over. 6-4 on the third out of the inning as the Whitecaps do strand a runner. We're on to the 7th inning. Hawks have work to do chasing 3.
When you need a better place to work, CapeSpace is the place to turn. In today's changing work environment, shared workspaces offer a flexible and affordable alternative to conventional office space. At CapeSpace, we offer a wide range of membership packages to suit your professional needs, complete with office amenities like high-speed Wi-Fi, coffee, printing stations, reception service, and private meeting rooms. Visit our website today to learn more.
UFOS Active Recovery. Because life keeps you on your toes. Because you want to shine when you rise. Foam technology absorbs impact with every step, so your body doesn't have to. Because standing still gets you nowhere. Get yours today at ufos.com. Feel better. Feel the U.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Austin Akuta, Zach Berman, Drake Toll here for what will be the top of the 7th inning. The Harbor Hawks getting ready to send a pair of All-Stars and Nolan Shanuel to the plate. Patelli, Flores, and Shanuel due up here to lead off the 7th inning. Zach, this would be a good time for them to put a rally together.
Yes, it would. You got 9 outs to work with, but before you talk about that, I got some exciting news Harbor Hawk related.
They're going to turn it down?
Not this year.
They're going to turn the PA down.
Last year, 2021 Hyannis Harbor Hawk Clark Elliott has just officially signed with the Oakland Athletics for, hey, $900,000. Look at that.
Is that under slot or is that right around? He was second round, I believe, right?
Right, a little bit under slot, about 77,000 under slot, but
that's awesome. Congratulations to Clark Elliott, the 2021 Cape Cod Baseball League batting champion, a 2021 All-Star, and an all-around great human being.
Thurman Munson. He was Thurman Munson winner.
When the senior writer for MLB Pipeline compares you to Michael Brantley, I'd say that will play.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, he not only on baseball-wise, right, pure hitter, and hits all fields of the park. He had a home run here at Brewster when the Hawks were here last year. But he is one of the best humans that I've ever met.
Wow.
Great dude. Will take his time to talk to you.
That's awesome.
Get to know you, and very happy to hear Clark Elliott is signed with the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Here comes Dom Patelli to lead off the top of the 7th. Goes after the first pitch, lines it right to Mendham at first, who makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in 1 second.
Wow.
I wonder if by the time that Clark makes it pro, the A's will either be in a new ballpark or in Vegas.
Well, $900,000 is half the salary cap they can give anybody in their entire organization, so they really unloaded the truck for Clark.
Yeah. The A's, well, they had an all-star this year by the name of Paul Blackburn. He was a starting pitcher who had been named to the all-star team, and they, instead of flying him in their jet, first class, they had booked him a commercial ticket to the all-star game in L.A., and so the Houston Astros heard about that and said, nope, you can hang on our plane. So Paul Blackburn took the ride with all the Astros players on their jet to get to the all-star game rather than flying next to you and me.
I mean, that's not even a bad flight. You're not even leaving the state of California.
I think they were coming from Houston. That's
Yeah,
why the
maybe.
Astros players jumped him on the flight. Had him jump on the flight with them.
I don't think the
count.
Astros players jumped him, said, give me your money,
Yeah.
give me your money.
Haha. Tito Flores at the plate.
First time I heard that one on the broadcast.
Yeah, Tito Flores thought he was getting robbed as he's coming up to the bat. 2-1
Yeah.
the count now with 1 down.
You can't pick your nose today, usually. I can't myself.
No.
Caught myself a couple of times. We have the Manning cam now, so you gotta be a little more leery of what you do.
Are we calling it the Manning cam? It reminds me more of a,
Yeah,
the
we're
Joe
calling it the
Rogan
Manning cam.
for UFC.
Definitely Manning cam.
Here's 2-1. That was flown foul. 2-2 the count to Tito.
One of those a little less controversial than the
That's
other.
true.
So I think we.
I mean, then again, Eli Manning did flip the double bird on the Manning cam.
All
so.
right.
Way to make them both controversial, Zach.
Great.
Berman.
What are we gonna call it now, huh? The booth cam.
Booth cam.
Real original.
Flores is 0 for 1. 3 came in above the letters, but evidently in the zone today for the second out.
That's just not a strike. That's just I hate that for a guy in Tito. That's Tito as he goes across his time in baseball is not going to see that called a strike very often.
Look, it's been consistently called a strike tonight.
Here's Nolan Shonowell. That misses high and outside for a ball 1-0.
That one was close. I thought I liked where that was.
Shonowell 1 for 1, also reached on a hit by pitch. Here comes a 1-0. Called strike. 1-1 the count evens up. Nazoo has come on and worked 2 2/3 scoreless in relief of the starter Grant Kipp, who gave them 4 shutout innings. So we were curious which version of Nazoo we'd get today.
Yeah.
We've gotten the one who struck out 5 and is now ahead 1-2 on Nolan Shonowell.
That guy's been lights out. I mean, he really has been solid, and now, like you mentioned, he's gotten ahead on Shonowell, who is trying to get back into a groove for Hyannis.
Nazoo gets the sign from Atkinson. Here comes the 1-2, and Shonowell swings through it for out number 3. The Hawks go down in order as Nazoo picks up a pair of strikeouts. He's through 3 perfect innings with 6 strikeouts to go with it on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Welcome back to America's toughest yelling competition. And boy, do we have a winner. And it is not even close today. Our guy on the microphone here at Stony Brook Park, feeding us the sounds of the Brewster Whitecaps. And Austin, while I can't hear anything right now, and there's a loud ringing in the back of my head, it's been something.
Hey, talk about a home field advantage.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
New pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks to start
too.
things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Holland Towns, the right-hander from Southern Mississippi, Zach, and he's got a good fastball.
Holland Towns' first appearance as a member of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks coming out of Southern Miss. And, you know, to this point, his fastball is going to be formerly out of Hines Community College.
Yeah. He's a guy that has yet to play down in Mississippi and is still waiting to do that next spring. So we're going to see for the first time today what exactly we get from him, and excited to see that too. So he's got a face. It's funny. You know, it's never going to end, but he's got a face in this scenario. Lasco and then Pinales, DeMartini, so 9-1-2. Welcome to Cape Cod.
Yeah, Holland Towns will take the jersey formerly worn by Ethan Hammerberg as that one's fouled off. Lasco tried to drop a bunt. Didn't go so well, 0-1 now the count. Hammerberg, the right-hander from The Ohio State University, was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the 20th round of the draft, decided to sign, and is off to play for one of the rookie ball teams.
Man, that video, you know, of him getting, like, huddled around in the dugout or in the bullpen.
The 0-1 miss is low, 1-1 the count.
And you could just tell everyone's kind of looking in at him, and then he looks at the guys and goes, White Sox, baby. And they just mopped him, and it was great.
That's awesome.
Here comes the 1-1 from Towns. Nice pitch over the top of it is Lasco, and Holland Towns ahead 1-2.
Towns has the Hammerberg look to him, too.
Yes,
I mean,
he
those
does.
guys kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They both have the same build, both
6'4".
31. Hopefully he can manifest the same as Ethan Hammerberg, because Hammerberg was lights out.
Here comes the 1-2. Inside just a bit. Close call there, 2-2 the count. Towns stands at 6'4", 225. Hammerberg was what, 6'5", about that?
Yes. Yeah,
I give him
similar
6'8".
build, similar stature.
He's probably listening out there.
Here comes the 2-2 from Towns, and that one misses low, 3-2.
Holland Towns. What a name, huh? I guess not.
Yeah.
No, it is a good name.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off. Lasco stays alive, looking to avoid going down again. He's 0 for 1 today. Didn't reach on a walk.
Hey, how about Tommy O'Rourke? Another 2 scoreless innings for him. He's proven himself to be quite a valuable commodity in that bullpen.
That'd be Isaiah Rhodes.
I mean, excuse me, Isaiah Rhodes. I completely read that wrong. Yeah, Isaiah Rhodes. Another good game for him.
Here comes the 3-2 once more from Towns. Chopped foul again.
Hey,
Lasco
guy.
not going down easily, making Towns work.
Towns coming out in his first appearance on Cape Cod, finds himself in a full count and still working here through his first 8 pitches.
Well,
Guy has,
you know, your first.
not given up the walk yet, at least.
Well, your first batter you face on Cape Cod was a starting center fielder for a team that, for all.
3-2 fouled off
Another
once again.
strike. Okay.
I mean, for all that's concerned, Rutgers should have been in the NCAA tournament this year for baseball. Ryan Lasco started almost
Not for basketball?
March Madness?
They were in the tournament for basketball.
Oh,
Were they?
what about
How'd that
football?
go?
I think they lost in the first 4.
Yeah, not surprised.
Oh, dang.
Lost to Notre Dame.
Towns comes set. Here comes the 3-2 again. Did he go? They'll check it first. No, he didn't. Lasco held up, and after he makes Towns throw, 10 pitches? He draws a walk.
Yep.
That's just a good at bat from Lasco.
Leadoff man's aboard. Now we're back to the top of the order. Xavier
Now betting.
Pinales, and there it is, as Pinales is 0 for 3 today. And Xavier has swung at the first pitch all 3 of his at-bats. We'll see if he does it for a 4th time.
I haven't really gotten to talk much about him because he's been in and out of the batter's box so quickly. His batting is not what gets him to this point. His fielding across the board as he swings
at the first pitch again, 4 times to the plate. 4 first pitch swings. That time it's held onto by Poncho Ruiz. 0-1 the count.
Get ready for this one.
I'm ready.
In 47 games started for
ready.
Gonzaga, his fielding percentage, 1,000.
Well, and that's at shortstop too. As that pitch misses high and out, you get a ton of chances there. It's not like he's hidden somewhere, you know, in right field where you don't get as many balls hit your way.
Whoa! Watch it. I was a right fielder for a while.
Yeah. On brand. Pickoff move back in safely is Ryan Lasko, 1-1.
Right fielder during Little League Baseball, and if anybody else out there was a right fielder during Little League Baseball, yeah, we were all the worst on the team at
2
fielding.
innings in the field, 1 at bat.
Yep.
That's what you would get.
Yep.
Here comes the 1-1 runner goes. The pitch is inside. The throw from Pancho Ruiz is not nearly in time. He actually gets it to center field. Up and running is Lasko. He gets all the way to third, and that's a play that the Harbor Hawks oftentimes, that throw, as Lasko's coming home, the throw is in time as they get him at the plate. Lasko tried to get too greedy. He stole second, got to third on the throw to center. It was bobbled for a brief moment. Lasko tried to steal home, but was gunned down by, I believe, Dominic Patelli.
Whether it was Patelli or Riku, great rally on the cutoff and, you know, way to turn lemons into lemonade, a play that you don't typically see Riku or Patelli make. It all gets past both of them, winds up being an out.
That's a huge out, number 1.
Yeah.
Bases are now empty as Penales bloops that one down the right field sign. Will it stay fair? It will not. It goes foul, and the count will move to 1-2.
Yeah, well, now if you're Holland Towns, you go from turning lemons into lemonade to turning oranges into orange juice right here. 1-2 count. Let's deal out a strike 3.
And if you're Towns, I mean, you can take a little bit of a sigh of relief because now you don't have to deal with that base runner. And, you know, that's your welcome to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, getting really, really, really solid help from your defense.
Yeah, and if you're Penales, too, you're thinking mangoes into mango juice if you can make it happen right here.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball hit back up the middle. Patelli plays it on a hop. His throw across the diamond's in time, and Dom Patelli put some zip on that throw. I'd love to see the miles per hour on that thing.
Banana smoothie for Dom Patelli, if you will. Unbelievable. Given the opportunity.
Now batting, the third baseman from Virginia Tech,
Carson
number
DiMartini.
16, Carson
Got him.
DiMartini.
Yep, just leave that up for you.
Holy cow.
I can't even believe it.
You know,
Folks, if you're just joining us, he actually only started doing that here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah,
so luckily we haven't dealt with that the whole game.
It's been all 3 hours. Carson
Oh my
DiMartini,
gosh.
1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch from Towns. It's low and in the dirt.
You know, Virginia Tech's football fans are famous for, you know, getting all on their feet and singing Enter Sandman to bring the Hokies out into the field. And the only thing louder than 60-something thousand fans at Lane Stadium singing Enter Sandman, the PA announcer here at Brewster.
Good segue.
1-1 the count to DiMartini.
Carson.
That's him. Holland Towns making his season debut, now has 2 outs with nobody on here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, looking to keep his team in the ball game as they chase 3. That's popped up, shallow left field. Patelli's on the run, running back and making the catch. Dom Patelli with tremendous range as Holland Towns works a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th inning. The Hawks have 6 outs to work with as they're chasing 3 runs on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Or should I say, welcome back to the Brewster Whitecaps PA announcer featuring the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Oh my gosh!
As a new pitcher's on the mound.
It never ends. I can't get over from the superlatives pregame for half the guys that weren't here anymore This is so funny. They're watering the field doing an award ceremony. No one's accepting awards. This guy's just screaming into a microphone about a guy that left 3 weeks ago to go back to Rutgers. They gave him the Pitcher of the Year award, said his stats, and no one clapped because no one is.
No, remember, he got drafted. He was going to try his luck.
That's right. They did. Now he's going to try his luck in the pros.
Well,
he's going to match his wits to the rest of baseball in the nation.
Well, the Harbor Hawks are going to have to try their luck against one of the premier shutdown relievers.
Don't tell me
That'd
that.
be Brennan Oxford. He was an all-star this year, pitched a scoreless inning in the ASG, and struck out 2 to go with it. 13 2/3. Drake, want to guess how many runs he's allowed in 13 2/3?
Please don't say 0.
0. Yeah, not a single one. 9 appearances. His last one came in the All-Star game, as I mentioned. But before that, July 19th against Chatham, one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. 2 1/3, just 1 hit, no runs allowed.
You know, Hyannis had, I think it was 5 hits last night, and Cole McConnell had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Today, Hyannis has 3 hits. Cole McConnell does not have all 3 of those, by the way.
That's been a bit quiet. Riku Nishida has one of those 3. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Also has a sack bunt on the line.
It's only a 3-run game.
It's only
too,
a 3-run game,
I
and you have Riku, Mitch Jebb, and Mike Sirota starting. I mean, would you rather have anybody else to start a rally than these 3?
Maybe David Ortiz, Jason Varitek, and Manny Ramirez.
I would also rather
Hawks,
not have Oxford on the bump. That'd be another thing that would throw that in there. If we're making wish lists now.
Hey, let's not act like this team hasn't hit off a good pitchers this season.
They have. We'll see if they can spoil Oxford's success so far. Nishida holds his swing up. 1-1 the count, evens up.
Hey, Teddy McGraw, Harbor Hawks hit him pretty hard. Let's talk. Hey, Carson Wisenhunt, 2nd-round pick. Could have gone top 15. Harbor Hawks lit him up like a Christmas tree.
Christmas in July happened a bit early that day.
Christmas tree shop.
Here's the 1-1 in the dirt to Nishida. 2-1 the count.
That game was in June. Thank you for playing.
Tomato, tomato.
No, actually.
Well, you can't eat oysters neither, so.
No, you can only eat oysters like 2 months out of the year.
I might get oysters tonight just
really?
For that.
Nope. Well, this month doesn't end in R, so you can't eat oysters apparently.
Oh.
2-1 misses high. 3-1 to Riku Nishida.
Yeah.
I would say if there's any
say.
criticism on the ledger of Brennan Oxford, it is 7 walks in 13 2/3. So
okay.
If there's anything to take out of it, be the walks. But otherwise, 17 strikeouts and 8 hits. So this guy, I think he's what you call good.
Well, if you at home or Mitch Jebb in the on-deck circle are curious, he only throws a fastball and a slider. And that is a tremendous catch by Xavier Penales, who climbs the ladder. Oh, boy. Over at shortstop and makes the catch for the first out.
Well, I did say, hey, Xavier Penales is here for his defense. And that's among the best defensive plays we've seen in this league all season.
That's a base hit from Riku Nishida that's robbed in the infield. Penales climbed the ladder right there to get to it, and one of the most impressive plays that we've seen this season.
It's just been that kind of game for
Brings
the
up
Hawks.
Mitch Jebb with 1 down here on the top of the 8th. And to left-handed hitters, first pitch 73% of the time is going to be the fastball. We'll see where Oxford goes here. The first pitch is a ball. Don't know if it was a fastball or a slider. Tough to tell.
Was looking, too, you try to check when the Harbor Hawks are down what a loss here would do compared to scores around the league. Well, this game started at noon, so everybody else is just now getting their first pitch underway across the rest of the league, so we have no idea.
Oh, yeah, you won't be able to tell you. If you follow the Harbor Hawks on Twitter, we can keep you updated where the standings are as that pitch misses. 2-0 out of Mitch Jebb.
Right. If Katuitt loses to Chatham, which is a game at 7, by the way, it's a 3-hour difference.
This game will be over by the time they kick off over there in Chatham.
Easily. So you have Katuitt loses to Chatham and YD loses to Wareham. Hyannis is still tops in the West and in the league.
Yeah.
That's a big if, but
that's a
those Wareham gatemen came up empty again last night.
They haven't won one in 15 days or so.
Yeah, I was talking to one of their writers this morning at work, and he was less than thrilled with the recent performance, let's just say. The 2-0 to Jebb shows bunt. It's up at the eyes, 3-0.
I can't imagine Wareham came into this season expecting a season like that. You bring in Harvey Shapiro, you bring in a bunch of guys from Bourne last summer.
I don't know
they
if
went
most teams expect that kind of season.
Don't expect to not win a game for 15 days in a row.
Yeah.
3-0 to Jebb, red light, green light.
Hit a home run.
That doesn't answer the question. The 3-0 is a red light, and it is a called strike. 3-1 now to the Michigan State star. He's coming off a year in which He won pretty much every award Michigan State gives out.
Yeah.
Won the Offensive Player of the Year named after Kurt Gibson. Won
Think
the
they
team
actually
MVP.
gave an award for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
Okay.
They didn't do that here today. The 3-1. Jeb drops a bunt. Oxford comes in. He stumbles a bit. The throw to first is not in time, but even pulls the first baseman off the bag. Mitch Jeb drops a terrific bunt. And that's going to be an infield single to put the man on with one down.
Absolutely a single there. You get Mike Sirota at the dish, too, and Sirota at least is due today. He is 0 for 3 to this point with 2 strikeouts. A guy who doesn't strike out very often until he changed his approach, has done it a little bit more so than he did at Northeastern, and hopefully Mike is caught up to the pitching today of the Brewster Whitecaps and can put something together here, try to get on base with Cole McConnell following.
Well, Sirota has a bit of overlap with Oxford during their collective times in Brewster, so if anybody on this Harbor Hawk team is going to know what Brennan Oxford throws, it's going to be Mike Sirota.
Well, he only throws a fastball and a slider, so even if you know what's coming, nobody's been able to hit it this year. That was the 8th hit allowed in 14 complete innings. First pitch is a called strike.
But how about the guts for Mitch Jeb on a 3-1 count to bunt? That's someone that is so confident in their speed.
I think it tells you a lot about the pitcher on the mound, too, and how maybe not confident they are in hitting this guy.
What do you say Sirota buns here?
No.
Let's just keep going. Let's do a little bun party.
Jeb gets his lead off first. Oxford comes set, takes a couple glances there, now brings home the 0-1. It's in the dirt at the back foot of Sirota. Came close to hitting him on the cleat. And they will say it didn't. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, we'll see here what you get from Oxford in trying to deal with Mitch Jeb on base. Jeb second in the league in stolen bases. The Harbor Hawks have actually been surpassed by Bourne. Hyannis no longer the league lead in stolen bases. Bourne has just been having a stolen base party, especially against a Wareham team yesterday who has had their fair share of struggles with getting guys out on the base paths.
And that was at Polar Park in Worcester. Wareham made the trip up there to play.
It's a nice
ballpark. The Whtiecaps Stadium. You ever been there?
Yeah, I've been once. It's pretty nice.
Here's the 1-1. Called strike. Sirota's behind 1 and 2.
Well, here's where I question what you do here if you're Mike Sirota, because the first 2 batters that Brennan Oxford has seen, Oxford hasn't looked his sharpest. You know, he went behind 3-1 in the count to Riku and gave up what is likely a base hit, if not for one of the best defensive plays you'll see all year, and then does allow a base hit after going behind 3-1 in the count again. So I think if you're Sirota, you're going to get a strike here because Oxford is now laser focused on making sure he gets one in the strike zone.
He comes set, glances at Jeb, who gets a lead off first. Now a pickoff move there is Jeb's in standing.
Almost got him there. Fooled me there. Whew. Threw the old Ephus back to first base.
1-2, the count holds as Jeb's over at first. Sirota at the plate, and Cole McConnell on deck. 1 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Hawks chasing 3. Here's the pitch. Jeb's off on it. It's a pitch high, and it misses for a ball. The throw to second, not in time. Mitch Jeb's in safely with a stolen base.
Number 17 this season for Mitch Jeb, and another added to the Harbor Hawks total. They have now stolen, granted they're second in the league after falling behind Bourne, they have now stolen 76 bags this year. If you leave your bag out, they'll steal it.
Not often it will take you to the 8th inning before the Hawks get their first stolen base of the game.
Speaks to the low volume of base runners they've had tonight.
Yeah.
The Jeb single was just the 4th hit of the night for Hyannis. 2-2 the count now to Sirota. Oxford comes set. Jeb with a decent lead at second base. Here's the 2-2. Sirota singles to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to wave home Mitch Jeb. Here comes a throw from right. It's a good one, and Jeb is in safely. Bobbled at the plate by Atkinson, and Mitch Jeb slides in on the RBI single from Mike Sirota, and the Hawks are on the board.
There are not a lot of players on this team that you send around on that, and the throw beat Mitch Jeb. There was a shot to get him at the plate, but his speed still allows him his 33rd run this season. That is best in the league, far and away. Nobody else is close to Mitch Jeb in that category.
Mike Sirota picks up his 14th RBI of the season as his average climbs back up to 381, thanks to the hit.
Is that 14 RBIs with Hyannis?
With Hyannis.
Because they don't count his totals for Brewster. Once you change teams, point streak starts you completely over.
Cole McConnell back at the plate.
Hey, that's an earned run too, isn't it?
That is. That is the first earned run allowed by Brennan Oxford on the season. He was an all-star and had pitched all the way since June 14th. He's been here the entire summer, 13 2/3. His scoreless streak ends at 14 innings. Oxford comes set Sirota off of first. Mcconnell at the plate. Sirota's off on the pitch. It's a ball. The throw to second is not in time. It comes out of the glove of Penales, and Mike Sirota swipes it back.
Right. So let's talk about this. Of course it was going to be Sirota, his old teammate, that gets the first run on the board for the Hawks. The Harbor Hawks have played Brewster. They played him last Friday, and they're playing him again today. The Harbor Hawks have scored 4 runs combined in those 2 games. Who's driven in all 4 of them? The ex-Whitecap himself.
Sirota. Your team just got Mike Sirota'd.
Again.
So Sirota's over on second base. He's holding his shoulder. It was a funky slide in.
Yeah.
He waves off Coach Beatty. He says he's okay. Left shoulder bothering him just a bit, but he says he's all right. So Sirota over at second every single day. He's kind of like a Dustin Pedroia. His uniform is completely covered in dirt every game.
He finds a way, man.
And he plays right field where
Right.
it's just grass. That tells you how active he is on the bases. The 1-1, McConnell skies it to right center field. Running after it is Tatro and Lasko. Lasko makes the catch. Sirota retreats to second base and will tag. The throw into third is not on time as Sirota advances over to third base on the second out of the inning.
Well, now you're in a scenario with Poncho Ruiz coming to the dish, who's only flashed his power once this season, where Sirota at third, 2 guys down. The last thing you want to do here is strand a guy at 90 feet, still down 2 runs. If Poncho can find a way on base here, you have Christian Moore behind him. This is the spot, we talked about it in the pregame, where you need your production to come from the most. Poncho Ruiz hitting 176, Christian Moore 185. How can these 2 guys, this 1-2 punch, find a way to get back into a groove? Moore already has a hit today. Can Ruiz do it here?
Ruiz is better against left-handed pitching, and he'll face one here, Oxford. He's thrown 9 strikes, 9 balls, a little bit of a unlikely ratio for a guy who's been so dominant this season.
2 reminders. The Whitecaps will be playing right back here tomorrow against...
No. What is coming?
First pitch at 4 p.m.
First pitch at 4 p.m.
Also,
tomorrow.
in the next half inning, we'll be handing out our prizes for the 50-50 raffle.
Yeah,
So make
one of
sure
their
you have your
50-50
tickets
prizes
ready to
tonight.
go.
A New Orleans Saints.
It's a
4
Saints
p.m. tomorrow
hat.
against
Jamie
Wareham is the
Shevchuk,
next
the
home game.
Whitecap manager, coming to the mound as Atkinson went to talk to Oxford. We'll see if this results in a pitching change or just a mound visit. There is a right-hander warming. They may make the move to face Poncho.
Interesting. I cannot imagine that Brennan Oxford has been chased out of any games this season, and he has been chased out by the Harbor Hawks here.
2/3 of an inning.
Wow.
His shortest, tied for his shortest outing of the year. He worked 2/3 against Orleans, but that was a lefty-lefty scenario where he struck out 2. So the Hawks put the first run of the year allowed by Brennan Oxford on the board. They have another run at third base when we return a pitching change from Stony Brook Field on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be? You're a bad mother.
Pitching change here from Stony Brook Field as Brewster's opted to play the matchups. Brennan Oxford, who was their best reliever of the season, exits. He does allow his first earned run. He gives away to Braxton Pearson, the right-hander. 3.46 ERA, 13 innings of work, 17 strikeouts, 14 hits, 3 walks. So he's hittable, if the stats tell you anything.
He's hittable.
We know after last night, in which the Falmouth Commodores brought in a reliever with a 16.5 ERA, the Harbor Hawks didn't play to run against him, so you never know what the numbers here on the
That's
Cape.
just baseball.
So he's got 2 down. Poncho Ruiz is slated to come up to the plate. With Mike Sirota over on third, Sirota drove in Mitch Jebb. The lone run of the game happened just moments ago here in the top of the 8th. Hyannis trails 3-1 to the defending champion Brewster Whitecaps, who are currently 3rd in the East Division.
Have they announced that Braxton is in the game yet?
We have a new pitcher for the Whitecaps. From Texas Christian, number 14, Braxton Pearson.
That's crazy. There was just a registered 3.2 earthquake in Madrid, Spain, after that new pitcher announcement.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I want to talk something.
WWE Sunday.
It's unbelievable.
I want to talk something about Pearson. Look at his numbers. Something immediately jumps out. He only pitched 4 innings at TCU.
He's from
this
maybe
spring.
my least favorite college in America, TCU. My girlfriend actually goes to TCU.
Oh, really?
But I go to Baylor. Wouldn't you know there's a holy war between those two schools? They are rivals.
Okay, before I get proven hilariously wrong, 4 innings for Braxton Pearson this spring in Fort Worth, 3 wild pitches, and there was a runner on third.
That's cool. That would be the second run of the game.
We'll see what happens here as Pearson comes set to face Poncho Ruiz. Sirota over at third. First pitch to Poncho is high and in for ball 1.
Oh, and if you walk Poncho here, and then you walk Christian Moore, and then you walk whoever's behind Christian, think about what
2 more earthquakes registered.
It would be insane. Oh, jeez. I wish I could have heard what you just said. Both my eardrums are gone.
Here's the 1-0 to Poncho. Outside 2-0 to the San Diego State Aztec.
Well, that's what happens when you're from TCU.
Drake, notably not a TCU fan, the Baylor attendee.
Attendee?
Yeah.
Oh, it's new?
6158.
Thank you, Zach. Yes. Those numbers make sense. It's Morse code.
Here's the 2-0 from Pearson. Fastball at the knees, a called strike. 2-1 to Poncho.
Well, if you're a college football fan, those numbers might mean something to you because that was the score of, I want to say it was a 2014 game between TCU and Baylor. That the final score was 61-58.
And you know where this guy, Braxton Pearson, was that day?
Probably in high school?
No.
God.
Probably like.
Geez, Zach.
Little league. That one's hit back to Pearson. Ruiz hit it well, but right at the pitcher. Pearson flips on to first to end the 8th inning. So the Hawks are down to 3 outs. But the Whitecaps are coming out up to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Traffic is treacherous. There's a fender bender on the pike. Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jam up. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot. You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Choosing T-Mobile is like paying for this, but getting that. And so much more. More 5G bars in more places. More savings so your family saves 20% versus the other guys. And we won't raise the price of your rate plan with our Price Lock Guarantee. Get more with T-Mobile. More 5G coverage, more savings, and even more cool stuff.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, and before we begin the proceedings in the bottom of the 8th, a quick word from one of our lovely sponsors, the Mass State Lottery. As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning.
Well, yeah, 50 more or something like that.
There it is. 50 years of winning and 50 more. And the 50-50 raffle announcements being made here at Stony Brook Field as Jackson Emis takes the mound. The star right-handed pitcher from Princeton has thrown 14 innings on the season, allowed just 1 earned run. Certainly somebody who was in the all-star conversation, and surprising that he was a snub from that game, as Emis has been sensational all year.
Interesting decision to go with Emis here. Granted, the game is still well within reach. I love this song.
I don't even know it.
It's a remix of Stronger by Kanye West. Oh, thank you, Zach. What's the what? Uh-oh, here he goes,
Number 29, Jackson Emis.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
No, you gotta wait.
Right. That was great. Can we keep it like that, just like that?
Just wait until the switch is flipped.
What do you go? You go Jackson Emis here. What?
You guys got any idea who's coming up to the plate now?
Oh God! Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
No.
Somebody else is going to tell me. I want it to be a secret.
Well, the logic
leading off for the
there it is.
Whitecaps,
That's
the designated hitter, From Maryland,
That's it.
number 5, Nick LaRusso.
Can you get an ear infection from stuff like this?
No. Well,
Because if you can, that stuff can that stuff's deadly.
Oh, boy.
Okay, my logic as LaRusso comes in
Is to turn the PA down.
Well, I mean, that's my first choice.
Jeez.
Well, LaRusso back at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He did score after reaching on an error. First pitch by Hyannis, hit up the middle for a base hit. LaRusso sees one pitch from the Princeton right-hander, sends it right back where it came from, and he's aboard with a leadoff single.
Well, if you remember, the last time the Harbor Hawks played here, they were down in the 8th, came back in the 9th, and wound up losing
Now
in the 9th.
batting,
Holy
the
crap.
right
I can't finish my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
No, what are you apologizing
No,
for?
I don't know.
But
for those of you just joining us, the PA system here in Brewster, or in / the announcer.
No one has asked them to turn it down yet.
Okay.
Screaming.
So back to what I was saying, Jackson Hyannis has closed games before. The Harbor Hawks, when they took the lead in the 9th inning in that game in Brewster, they didn't have anybody warming. They wound up bringing Austin Strickland, who's been great. He's actually starting for the Hawks tomorrow, but he was ice cold and wound up.
From North Carolina, Charlotte, number 15.
Yeah.
Wound up getting shelled and wound up losing the game. So I think your logic here is if the Harbor Hawks rally and take the lead, you have a guy that can shut the game down, ready and able to do so.
Hopefully so. I mean, on the flip.
First pitch misses low to Grayson Tatro.
Sorry, I think my right eardrum is actually lodged somewhere in my brain.
Well, as you may or may not have heard, LaRusso has been subbed out for
Cameron Fisher, the pinch runner.
So my thought process, let's say the score does hold 3-1, and now you're without Hyannis against Katuitt yesterday. Where do you go?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Holy crap, man. Tomorrow is what I meant. There's no way.
The 1-0. Tatro hits it hard on the ground. Shanuel fields a throw to second for one, and the return throw to first is in time. No. Hyannis just couldn't get the right foot on the base. The fielder's choice, nearly a double play. Nice job by Shanuel and Patelli to nearly turn it.
Well, back to your logic, you also have to remember the Hawks are off on Thursday. Tomorrow you have Austin Strickland
Now
starting.
batting, the first baseman.
Yeah, Strickland's going to take the ball tomorrow. And you got to remember, too, is that you're without one of your top bullpen arms by the name of Jay Driver because he stepped into the starting rotation and dominated there.
You got Langenberg tomorrow. You got Volker tomorrow. You got Jordy Aller tomorrow.
Should that be enough, right?
It should definitely be, you would think, enough.
We'll see how that game plays out at Lowell Park. Historic Lowell Park.
Yeah.
That brings up David Mendham as Grayson Tatro is now on first after the fielder's choice. He chops it foul into the netting. 0-1 the count now to Mendham, who is 1 for 2 today with a single, an RBI, and a walk.
Also, with the 4:30 start, there's no guarantee you're playing a full 9 innings.
That is true, especially at Katuitt. We played, 7 last time, Zach?
8.
No.
No, we played 8 because the Hawks, Mcconnell homer, tied it in the 8th.
Oh, yeah, and
the
they
reason
called it while it was still super light outside. I wasn't even there.
7:30, I think it was.
Well, the reason I remember that, because in the 7th inning, the Harbor Hawks had a base runner, or should have had a base runner, and it was Caleb Ketchup, their shortstop, that made a very similar play to what Pinales made earlier in this game, as that was called a ball, as he reached into the sky and robbed one. That's just one of those moments just sort of sticks out at you. But, yeah, that game ended in 8 innings.
Emis?
Oh, please don't. Please don't turn the crowd mic up, man.
1-1 the count with
You're going to
one
forget
down
to turn
and
it down
runner
again.
on first. I can't forget. He beats me to it. Here's the breaking ball called strike up at the letters 1 and 2.
Has a strike today. At
Yes,
least
it
it's a
is.
strike for everybody, though. So consistency is key. Yep.
1-2 the count with 1 down here in the inning. Emis leans in, gets the signs from Poncho Ruiz. Pickoff move back in standing.
You know, 15 years from now, I'm going to walk out of a doctor's office and someone's going to ask, Zach, why do you have a hearing aid? I'm just going to tell them, look, it was a sunny Tuesday afternoon
July
in Brewster,
26th,
Massachusetts.
2022.
Lost it all. That game at Katuitt, Zach, we were there through the 8 innings. It ended at 7:48.
Wow.
So 2 hours and 48 minutes, and they called it. See how much daylight we have tomorrow at Lowell Park. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Demas gets Mendham to swing at a breaking ball for out number 2.
Wait, who's batting next?
I will tell you in just a second.
Now batting, the second baseman from Maryland.
Where's he from?
Number 10, Kevin Keister.
Zach, you talked to the guy pregame. What did he say to you?
He's really nice.
Okay, that's good, at least. You asked him if he was in college, and he very obviously was not.
No.
So I think he was vaguely offended by that. What did he say he does? He's like older? Where did he go to college?
I honestly forgot.
So you didn't take anything away from that conversation pregame?
Zach, this is
right.
It was like a 4-minute conversation, man.
Was
hunting
it?
for yes. Do you not remember this pregame?
No, I have the same conversation with every PA guy we've ever worked with. It's pronunciations, that was it. How's your day going? That's it.
No, you asked him what college he goes
to.
to. And he was like, yeah, I graduated a while ago, man.
Here comes the 0-1 to Kevin Keister. Emis comes set, runner off first as Tatro 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch. Runner goes in the pitch, swung on and missed. Ruiz bobbles it. So stealing second base safely is Grayson Tatro.
Well, if our beloved PA announcer, Mark Howard, is listening, this is just a thank you from all of us for not screaming on a daily basis.
Yeah. Shout out.
0-2 now the count to Keister as Jackson Emis looking to work a scoreless bottom of the 8th and give his team a chance in the 9th. Hawks chasing 2 runs. It's been a quiet day offensively. They did get 1 run in the top of the 8th, but otherwise all zeros. Emis comes set 0-2 here to Keister. The right-hander from Princeton brings a knee high, brings the pitch, and it swung on and missed. Jackson Emis has the strikeout strut working as he retires 2 via the punch-out en route to a scoreless bottom of the 8th inning. 3 outs remaining for the Hawks. They need 2 runs in order to tie this ball game on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it? Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it. And that's when you said... So it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point. Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it? Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it. And that's when you said... So it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
Welcome back to the
Leading
Harbor
off,
Hawks
the designated
Baseball
hitter
Network.
from
Austin
Tennessee.
Nakuda and Zach Berman and Drake Toll in the broadcast booth.
What's left of Drake Toll?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun. We might not have any of us left after today. It's only a 3-1 game, and the Hawks have managed to stick around even after a 3-run bottom of the 4th by Brewster. The Hawks bullpen has shut the door on the Whitecap offense. 3 outs remaining for the Harbor Hawks. There are no extra innings in the Cape League. So if the Hawks can put something together here and get away with a tie, that'd be ideal, or not, if not a win. First pitch to Christian Moore, misses low for a ball, 1-0.
Feels oddly similar to Friday night's game where the home team scored 3 runs in 1 inning and was shut down otherwise, and Brewster then on the road scored their first in the 8th, wound up only losing 3-2.
The only difference is there's no Santa Claus here tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
1-1 now the count to Christian Moore.
I got to tell you, this 4 o'clock start time kind of clutch. They're going to get a full 9 innings and easy peasy.
Well,
can't do that tomorrow, huh?
Never know. Braxton Pearson back on the bump here. You got the final out of the top of the 8th inning, 1/3 of an inning. Got a ground ball hit right back to him by Poncho Ruiz. He's behind Christian Moore 2-1. Moore going back to Tennessee in the fall and expected to do big things there. You can already see it in the batting practice and his physique. He's an incredibly talented player. The 2-1 is hit hard and foul, 2-2.
Okay, so now here's the situation at hand. If the Harbor Hawks can get 1 or 2 guys on, typically your 8-9 hitters are your worst hitters in a team in terms of, conventional baseball logic. Not the case here with Nolan Shotwell and Riku Nishida. Those could be the guys that, if the Harbor Hawks get runners on base, are going to be tasked with either tying this game or taking the lead should we reach that point.
Pearson comes set, 2-2 to Christian Moore outside. 3-2. He's worked the count full. Moore has already been on base once today with a single. He's 1 for 3.
All right, Braxton. A ball in the dirt would be sweet.
Moore with a full count awaiting as Braxton Pearson works from the stretch. Nobody on base here on the top of the 9th.
Moore's got to be ready for a breaking ball right here.
They'll call time. It will not be granted. And Pearson comes set. Here's the 3-2. Fastball, swung on and missed, and down goes Christian Moore for out number 1 at the top of the 9th inning.
He was looking high fastball. He got high fastball, and he swung right through it.
1 up, 1 down. Hawks down to their final 2 outs as Dom Patelli, who's 0 for 3 tonight, will step up to the plate.
Patelli.
Well, got 2 runs to make up. Starts with a base runner.
Bloop and a blast ties the game.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Who's on deck? Manu.
How funny is that?
Called strike to Patelli.
We'll have to tell the folks at home because the PA guy won't.
Tito Flores in the on-deck circle. Last time he was here at Stony Brook Field, top of the 9th inning, hit a 2-run go-ahead home run. Here comes the 0-1 from Pearson to Patelli. Ground ball hit to second. Fielded on a hop by Keister. Throw to first is in time. 4-3 on the putout. And suddenly the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are down to their final out.
Tito's got to get on base by any means. Should Tito reach, you get Nolan Shotwell the chance to tie the game. But this, another big spot for Tito in the top of the 9th in Brewster. Circumstances a little bit different this go-round. But you're down to your last gasp. And, hey, the last time the Hawks were here, 2 outs. They had 2 outs in the top of the 9th before Mitch Jebb reached. And then Tito did what we've obviously brought up already.
First pitch, called strike to Tito, 0-1.
It's been a good game, too, from the pitching staff for Hyannis. They've only allowed an earned run in 1 inning, and that was the 4th, where an error actually sparked that. So there's only been 1 earned run for the Harbor Hawks today and 1 for the Whitecaps as well, but 3 runs on the board thanks to 3 errors for the guys in blue.
Flores behind 1-2 now in the count.
And you can't really pin it on O'Rourke. For all intents and purposes, he pitched pretty well. That 4th inning, it was an error and then a lot of ground balls. 3 straight ground ball singles wound up doing the damage. And sometimes, that's just the way the ball bounces, more or less. But Tito down to his final pitch.
If the Hawks lose tonight, it'll be the first time since early June against Harwich and Brewster in which they lost back-to-back games. The 0-2, Flores fouls it off.
You almost said early January.
No, I did not.
January is actually one of the few months
where you can eat oysters.
No, it doesn't end
in ours.
Why?
You cannot eat oysters.
So October, September.
It's September, October, November, December. That's all you can get.
Yeah. Outside of that?
Oh, April. No.
No.
Haha, gotcha.
No.
You made me think.
I hope so. 0-2 to Tito Flores. Hawks down to their final out, trailing 3-1 here on the top of the 9th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Up and in, misses for a ball to Tito.
I hope he doesn't yell if they win.
I got some bad news for you.
Yeah. Jeez, man. That stretch in which the Hawks lost 2 straight was a loss to Katuitt. Then there was a postponement. It was the first game of the doubleheader against Harwich. Since then, they have not lost 2 consecutive ball games. 2-2 now the count to Tito
I was
Flores.
like 14 then.
Way back
I was
then.
in 8th grade or something.
We'd only known each other
Drake
for
was in 8th
6
grade.
days back then.
Yeah. I still had my hearing.
Yeah. I had that this morning. was a very recent development where I lost it.
I had mine at 3:30 today.
Yeah.
3:40?
The award ceremony started. All downhill from there.
2-2 to Flores with 2 down here in the top of the 9th. Here's the pitch from Pearson. Fastball, chopper going to be a tough play. Slow roller to the third base side. Pearson barehands it, throw to first, pulls him off the bag, and Tito Flores is safe at first on the throw. Might be ruled an infield single, but nonetheless, the Hawks get a base runner with 2 down in the top of the 9th and bring the tying run to the dish.
Where have I seen this before? In Brewster, nonetheless. Nolan Shotwell has been a man in search of a signature moment as a Hyannis Harbor Hawk all season. Is it time?
Pearson, notably better against right-handed pitching than left-handed hitting. The right-hander, Pearson, nods and gets the sign. Flores off of first. Shanuel, the tying run at the plate, the first pitch. Hard hit ground ball to third. Thought about going to second, but it'll go across the diamond in time to end the ball game. And the PA announcement rings through the ballpark at Stony Brook Field as the Hawks fall to the Whitecaps 3-1. And unfortunately, the Hawks lose 2 games in a row for the first time since beginning of the season, the first week. And let's wrap this up as quickly as possible here from Stony Brook Field before these speakers fall down on us.
Tough loss, but, you know, you got Cotuit right now, and regardless of how Cotuit does tonight, they could jump Hyannis for first place. Hyannis could jump them right back tomorrow. But roll-a-bump limited player of the game, I'm going to go with Isaiah Rhodes here. 2 scoreless innings, looked quite good.
Any ideas there from the end of the booth, Drake Toll?
I'm out of ideas, man. I lost ideas about the second inning where he screamed that one guy's name.
How about Isaiah Rhodes? We'll go with it. Isaiah Rhodes, 2 scoreless innings, bridged you and kept you in this ball game for much of it. Hawks fall 3-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network to the Brewster Whitecaps. Final score from Stony Brook Field, Brewster 3, Hyannis 1. For Drake Toll, for Zach Berman, and for our entire production crew, Ella Gibson, Abby Stokes, Bria Lossick, our sideline reporter, I'm Austin Nakuda. We will see you tomorrow, 4:30 against Cotuit on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Go Hawks and have a great night.